Our next senior is Belle Phillips. Belle is the daughter of Audrey and Sam Phillips. At FSHS, Belle has been a member of the band for 7 years and plays the horn. She is also a part of the band leadership team, Beta, Mu Alpha Theta, Chinese Club, HOSA, FBLA, and Creative Writing Club. In the community, Belle attends Old Union Missionary Baptist Church and is a member of the Bowling Green Youth Orchestra. In the future, Belle plans to attend the University of Kentucky to study law and anthropology. Tonight, Belle is escorted by her parents, Sam and Audrey Phillips, and her siblings, Seth, Will, and Laurel. Belle Phillips. Our next senior is Chloe Smack. Chloe is the daughter of Jessica Neal and Roland Smack. At FSHS, Chloe has been a part of the Color Guard for 4 years. She is also a member of HOSA, Trio, Chinese Club, the band leadership team, disc golf, winter guard, orchestra, and the KY Health Corps. In the community, Chloe works at Franklin Medical Center through AmeriCorps. In the future, Chloe plans to attend Scotty CTC for 2 years, then later transfer to WKU to pursue a doctorate to become an OBGYN. Tonight, Chloe is escorted by her mom, Jessica Neal, her stepdad, Chad Neal, her father, Roland Smack, stepmom, Sarah Gaylor Walters, and her little brother, Logan Smack. Chloe Smack. Our next senior is Jack Turner. Jack is the son of Brandy Turner. At FSHS, Jack has been a member of band for 7 years and plays the sousaphone. In the future, Jack plans to attend technical school to become an electrician. Tonight, Jack is escorted by his mother, Brandy Turner, and sister, Madison Turner. Jack Turner. Our next senior is Madison Warren. Madison is the daughter of Jamie Warren and Jeremy Warren. At FSHS, Madison has been in the band for 7 years and plays the clarinet. She is also a member of the choir. In the community, Madison attends Calvary Baptist Church. In the future, Madison plans to attend Sky CTC or WKU to become a mechanic. Tonight, Madison is escorted by her parents, Jamie and Jeremy Warren, and her best friend, Brianna Posey. Madison Warren. Our next senior is Macy Cook. Macy is the daughter of Joel David and Carrie Cook. At FSHS, Macy is a member of the FSHS dance team, Dance Club, Student Council, and Pep Club. In the community, Macy is an all-star Dance Academy dancer and instructor. She also attends Life Point Church. In the future, Macy plans to attend college and major in business with a minor in dance. Macy also plans to dance collegiately and continue dancing after college. Tonight, Macy is escorted by her mother, Carrie Cook, father, Joel David Cook, and siblings, Eliza and Davis Cook. Macy Cook. Our next senior is Grace Fairman. Grace is the daughter of Mike Fairman and Rachel, and Paul Wright. At FSHS, Grace is a member of the FSHS dance team and Pep Club. In the community, Grace attends Hilton House Church. In the future, Grace plans to attend WKU and study nursing to become a pediatric nurse. Tonight, Grace is escorted by her dad, Mike Fairman, her mom and stepdad, Rachel and Paul Wright. Grace Fairman. Our next senior is Lane Alford. Lane is the son of Rhonda and Robert Alford. At FSHS, Lane is a member of football and baseball teams and is a member of HOSA and student council. In the community, Lane attends Calvary Baptist Church. In the future, Lane plans to play college football and earn a degree in sports medicine. Tonight, Lane is escorted by his mom and dad and his siblings, Annie and Cole. Lane Alford. Our next senior is Colin Anderson. Colin is the son of Jane Laura and Carla Anderson. At FSHS, Colin is a member of the football team, Diversity Club, HOSA, Trio, and also runs track. In the community, Colin attends Franklin Community Church, and is a part of the Young Male Leadership Academy sponsored by WKU. In the future, Colin plans to play college football and study to become a physical therapist. Tonight, Colin is escorted by his mom, dad, and brother Camden. Colin Anderson. Our next senior is Zeke Everhart. Zeke is the son of Kurt and Ashley Kramer. At FSHS, Zeke is a member of the football team and the varsity track and field team. Zeke also serves as president of Spanish Club, senior vice president, reporter for FDLA, and is a member of Mu Alpha Theta, Student Council, Travel Club, and FCA. In the community, Zeke is an employee of Channel 9 and has over 300 hours of community service. In the future, Zeke plans to attend Purdue University and obtain a master's in integrated business engineering or a master's in quantitative business economics. Tonight, Zeke is escorted by his mother, stepdad, and his brother Vinny. Zeke Everhart. Our next senior is Tayson Groves. Tayson is the son of Jason Groves and Chastity Aldis. At FSHS, Tayson is a member of the football team and the Diversity Club. In the community, Tayson is an active member at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. In the future, Tayson plans to attend college and to play football while majoring in marketing with a minor in finance. Tonight, Tayson is escorted by his mother, Chastity Aldis, Aunt Tammy Groves, Uncle T.A. Groves, and Grandma Sue Groves. Tayson Groves. Our next senior is Harrison Massey. Harrison is the son of Rick and Carrie Massey. At FSHS, Harrison is the team manager for the football team, a position he has held for the last 4 years. In the fall, Harrison plans to continue his education at South Central Community and Technical College, where he will study automotive technology. In the future, Harrison plans to be an automotive mechanic and hopes to have an opportunity to continue growing his experience in the restoration of historic vehicles. Tonight, Harrison is escorted by his parents, Ricky and Carrie Massey, and his sister, Molly Massey. Harrison Massey. Our next senior is Tyrell Phillips. Tyrell is the son of Terry Phillips. At FSHS, Tyrell is a member of the football team and the Diversity Club. In the future, Tyrell plans to go to college to become an electrical engineering technician. Tonight, Tyrell is escorted by his mom, Sherry, and his brother, Nehemiah Bell. Tyrell Phillips. Our final senior is DeMont Labs. DeMont is the son of Lamont and Sasha Williams. At FSHS, DeMont is a member of the football and track teams. DeMont was injured in an automobile accident last spring and was unable to play this season. Tonight, representing DeMont is his family, DeMont Lennox. I would like to thank all of the families that have supported our seniors and got them to where they are today. Let's give a big round of applause for the class of 2025. Congratulations and good luck in the future.
Identity with that two fullback look we've seen the last few weeks. I know Coach will most certainly welcome Blake back into that lineup.
Yeah, Blake is, even if he's at 75%, I mean, that's better than having no Blake McPherson because of the aspect of what he brings to the game other than just football. He's a leader, he's a competitor, and other players feed off his competitiveness. I'd almost guarantee you if he gets out there and he gets rolling, injury, no injury, soreness, any sort, he's going to be trying to stay on that field because he cares about winning that much. And other players feed off that. And it's evident, and it's been evident throughout the season and his entire career as a Wildcat.
There's going to be some extra emotion for Franklin Simpson tonight. Saw the family out there as they wrapped up honoring the seniors for Franklin Simpson of DeMont Legs. We've seen this Wildcat team over the last couple of years when something pops up really rally around that. And I know that's something that's been big for this season, or for this team all season long. And you got to figure tonight in particular, this is going to be a team that's out there playing for legs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was emotional in the stands. I was almost getting emotional seeing his family out there wearing his jersey and shedding a tear, wishing he could be here. But he was a great player for the Wildcats, and it was very fortunate. Wish he could have been here, but it was a blessing to see him play as long as we could.
It's a big week here in Wildcat Country. Had a Hall of Fame induction this week. We'll talk about that as the broadcast goes on. We'll dive into it a little bit more as Tim Slosher is going to join us again at halftime of this ball game, as he was so gracious to do a couple of weeks ago. It's Wildcats and Gators ×2. We've got Franklin Simpson Greenwood tonight, and then tomorrow Kentucky and Florida face off. It's going to feel like a little bit of deja vu, and I think a lot of people around here are probably hoping for Wildcats ×2 in the win column when it comes to that one. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at this Greenwood team, tell you how they differ from the Gators teams we've seen in the past and the challenges they still present to this Franklin Simpson team. We're back in 2 minutes here on your pregame show on 92.3 WFKN.
Looking for a place to connect, grow, and worship? Discover Franklin First United Methodist Church in downtown Franklin. Join us every Sunday for 2 uplifting services. Experience our traditional service at 9 a.m., where hymns and heartfelt messages bring our community together. Or come to our contemporary worship service at 11 a.m., where you'll find a lively atmosphere filled with modern music and inspiration. No matter where you are on your faith journey, there's a place for you here. Join us this Sunday at Franklin First United Methodist Church. We can't wait to welcome you home.
What makes us special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
Halloween is our favorite time of year here at Trent Betting.
Forget a costume. I'm going all out this year for our Monster Halloween sale all month long. This will change me into the scariest monster you've ever seen.
Whoa, little Trent, don't drink that potion.
That's a little more like it.
You've really done it this time.
That's right. And I'm slashing all our prices.
With select purchases, you can receive a free mattress protector, a free set of sheets, or a free set of pillows. Don't miss our Monster Halloween sale at Trent Betting.
For a place to connect, grow, and worship.
Back with you here at Franklin Simpson High School, where we got to take in a few students trying some field goals. They've actually got a few more letting one go. There was, I believe they said it was the soccer goalkeeper. Tyler tried one, fell down, and still managed to make it. They were asking if we wanted to go down there and try some kicks. That one is nailed through. My goodness, that's got to be a soccer player. I think that's cheating. But
yeah,
how far would you say, Tyler Arterburn, your field goal range is?
I barely have a knee right now. I had major knee surgery about 10 years ago, but I'd say I boot it for 30 yards. Get a little coffee in me and a little Red Bull, and I'll give that football some wings.
We both happened to come in here discussing a very similar thing. As after the seniors were honored, there was a check presentation from the Burrell family, who has been celebrated this week. You may have seen the sign passing by the McDonald's on North Main Street for 50 years of ownership there. And you were talking to me about the new Chicken Big Mac. I was telling you as I was sitting there sipping on my sweet tea about the meal that I had coming in, and it's so special. We talk about this, and you can look down on the sideline. You hear it on the broadcast with the sponsors, and you can see all the signs if you come out to a game. Just the fence, basically for 120 yards worth, is covered in signs from sponsors. It's incredible the support that Franklin Simpson football gets from this community and its businesses, especially one that's been around for 50 years.
Yeah, and it's been a staple here in Franklin, and it's very important to our community and keeping everybody running and keeping everybody fed, and a lot of people after the sports and late night games, that's where they run to, and that's the only way that their family's going to be fed most nights.
Somebody that I nearly had to bribe with food, although he wants me to bribe him with Pelican snowballs because he's always up in arms about how he hasn't gotten a plaque that he can take down and get his own free snowball, is Coach Chaney. And he had a couple games off from his pregame interviews because we thought 1 week was going to be homecoming. Then the next one actually turned out to be homecoming. But we were able to catch up with Coach again coming off of fall break and the bye week to hear his thoughts about this game. So here is that conversation I was able to have earlier today with the head coach of the Wildcats, Max Chaney.
Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky. For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
quick drives with points at the end of them. That was the conversation with Coach Chaney, which is fascinating to me, Tyler Arterburn, as we bring it back here to Franklin Simpson High School. We're about 5 minutes out from the kickoff. You normally hear from Franklin Simpson, you always want to have sustained drives. With Coach talked about, we want to sustain drives and score, but he said, we got to start this game quick. It almost seems like those two things clash with each other. A quick drive and a score to start a ball game, but also sustaining drives throughout the game. But it actually makes a lot of sense if you look back at what happened in that game between Franklin Simpson and Greenwood last year. It was a tale of two halves. The Wildcats had those sustained, drawn-out scoring drives in the second half of that game, but did not start strong and fast. So to me, as much as that sounds like a clash of two different ideas, I actually think it's the perfect formula when you look back at what went wrong for Franklin Simpson last year at Greenwood.
Yeah, you just got to score one way or another. Sustained drives, I'm sure if Coach Chaney comes out here and we score every drive, he's not going to be upset. He'll still find things for the linemen.
Of course.
Like, missed blocks and maybe things like that he will pay attention to. But overall, if you can score every drive, whether it's quick or whether it's long sustained, you're doing a good job. So that's the main thing, putting points up on the board when the opportunities are there.
30 is the number of the night. I mentioned earlier Lane Alford is searching for his 30th career touchdown at Franklin Simpson. Coach Chaney looking for his 30th career win overall here at Franklin Simpson in his 5th year, but none of the previous 29 have come against the Greenwood Gators under 7th-year coach William Howard. My goodness, the job he's done. 2-9 in his first year back in 2018, 38-23 since then. Only one other losing season, and that was in 2019. He's 4-1 against Franklin Simpson. Lost his first matchup back in the first season in 2018. He has not lost to this Wildcat team since. But to dive in more to what we talked about earlier, it's a much different team. We're used to seeing the pass game be a really big factor for Greenwood. In fact, the last 3 years, they've had a 1,000-yard passer. You could tick that up really to 1,200-plus yard passer here at Greenwood. Their current quarterback, Levi Wyatt, is on pace for only 540 yards this year, but he just had by far his best game of the season, 4 touchdowns, 100 yards against Ohio County in a blowout win for the Gators, 42-0. They're playing their 4th straight road game here tonight. Obviously, the challenge ticks up a bit from that Ohio County team to this Franklin Simpson team. But for a quarterback in Wyatt that had 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions going into that Ohio County game, to now see him over the last 3 games throw for at least 50 yards in all those games, this Greenwood team is really starting to find their identity. As much as it was rooted purely in the ground game early on, they're at least a little bit more getting back to that hybrid offense we're a bit more used to.
Yeah, and I think what they were trying to do with that Ohio County game is to build confidence, to work on some of their offense, and to see some more things, to see what they can do, see what they can throw out there. Ohio County played hard. They just don't have a full 11 guys that can go out there and play. But they do have some players here and there, and Greenwood was able to make some plays against them. Wyatt was able to throw the ball. Now, his main concern in the past has been he likes to float the football out there.
Yep.
He's got a strong arm to where he can throw the ball deep, but sometimes you get some of these slant routes, some of these out routes, and he floats the ball up there. And it's been intercepted, as we've seen earlier in the year, and I don't think the coaches have trusted him. So we'll see how that development from last week or 2 weeks ago against Ohio County, how that translates into this game.
It's just like on the other side, Brady dealt for Franklin Simpson. He's thrown no interceptions over the last 3 games. All of those picks came early on in the season, only averaging 49 yards per game and 10 yards per completion. It's a bit different from Brady, who's actually up over 500 yards on the season, and he's been hitting for 26.5 of pop. If you look at Colin Anderson, who has established himself from star running back to star receiver for the Wildcats, 6 catches, 259 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 of them against Glasgow. He actually leads the class in yards per catch, and this is a Greenwood defense in particular, if you break down the numbers, that has struggled against the passing game. They're 27th in pass defense this season, which is not traditionally how you think about a Franklin Simpson offense attacking somebody, but as we've seen now with this connection between Brady, Colin, and you can even extend it to Case and Groves, Brody Perry, they're both over 100 yards for the season. There are going to be opportunities there for Franklin Simpson to attack through the air, and Tyler Arterburn, one thing that really stood out for me is we get set to get this game started with kickoff. Greenwood is giving up a lot of rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks. Warren Central, they gave up 137 to their quarterback, 76 to Hopkinsville, 53 to Dane Parsley. And Warren East, 81 to Owensboro Catholic. They've got a fantastic quarterback in Atwell, who is one of his own. But they're on average giving up 50 yards per game to quarterbacks on the ground. Brady had 74 on the ground against Russellville. Has only had 6 yards combined on the ground in the 2 games since, but I wouldn't be surprised tonight if they let him loose a bit with his legs.
Well, you talk about some of those guys like Parsley at Warren East and Warren Central's quarterback, who's I can't remember his name, but he's just a very solid runner. Brady Delk's got an opportunity now to put his name in those same conversations as one of the best running quarterbacks in the area.
Franklin Simpson will start on defense. The Wildcats in the black uniforms up top, white pants, white lids for the jerseys, the numbers in white outline in blue. Greenwood whited out with the green numbers outline in yellow, white helmets to go along with the white tops and bottoms. McAllister will boot it away for Franklin Simpson. He puts foot to ball, and we're underway here at Franklin Simpson High School in this clash of rivals. The kickoff returned across the 30, 35, up near the 40 before the Wildcats can finally make a tackle on the dangerous running back, Schwarzkopf, who we can talk about how much he does in the running game. We mentioned it earlier, over 700 yards on the season. He averages over 7 yards per carry. Also has a kickoff return for a touchdown this season. And as the Gators take over here at their own 40, Tyler, we've seen some times this year where Franklin Simpson has given up some big plays in the special teams game.
Yeah, Schwarzkopf, he's a person you're going to have to focus on, Franklin Simpson defensively. He's going to be their entire offense. So any gaps that have been brought up in the past, you got to narrow them here.
He's at the side of his quarterback here in the shotgun, but we get a motion, or no, an offsides on Franklin Simpson. Jumped at the motion immediately, and that's 5 free yards for Greenwood. Sent a man in motion right to left in the formation. That was Jackson Freeland, who we'll talk about more when they get down in the red zone. He's been their go-to guy around the goal line, but they're just using him as a decoy, and the Wildcats jumped. So Greenwood gets the 5 free yards, 1st and 5 now with Schwarzkopf in the backfield. To the left side, goes into motion. They set up a swing pass, catches it near the line of scrimmage. Now moving out to his left, gets a block, but he's shoved backwards, and he only picks up 2 with the forward progress. That was a slow developing play, but the Wildcats did a good job in pursuit.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a chance to get that and
I did too.
Get some yards, but I don't know if he's injured because he didn't look like he's looked on film. Schwarzkopf didn't for Greenwood, so that's interesting to see as this game goes on.
They've used him a bit of a pass catcher. That's his 8th catch of the season now for only 36 yards. This time they fake the handoff, throw a slant to the far side. It's caught past the 45, spinning up near the 40 of Franklin Simpson for a 1st down and then some on a 12-yard completion to Jaggers, who has been their best receiver on the season. That's his 10th catch of the year, over 100 yards, only 1 touchdown on the season. Again, not a super explosive passing offense, but like the rest of this Greenwood team, really got things going against Ohio County with 3 catches for 57 yards. And the Gators have a 1st and 10 at the Franklin Simpson 41. This time they run it right side. Schwarzkopf, he's stacked up just in front of the line of scrimmage, and he's only got a yard on the ground.
Greenwood in their offense, they're going fast, and on that play they pull both guards, and the linebackers did a really good job reading the guards, and the guards taking them to the play, but they're already ready to run the next play, lining up, ready to go.
2nd and 9, ball position nearly between the hashes at the 40-yard line, minute and a half into this ball game. Schwarzkopf, left side of his quarterback, takes the handoff running right, sneaks through a gap across the 35, needed the 31 for a 1st down, and he's just inside of it, so they'll move the chains.
So Greenwood on that play, they had a tight end on the right, and they also had a split end out wide on the ball on the right. Anytime I've ever seen that on film, they're running to that guy that's ineligible, that ineligible tight end. So hopefully Franklin Simpson's able to know that and adjust.
They flank Schwarzkopf off to the right end here. Wyatt in the gun, takes the snap, rolling to his left. It's a quick out, thrown a little bit behind, but it's still caught by Jaggers, who is immediately wrapped up and dropped for a short gain. Groves was able to contain that quickly, but still easy completion, and they pick up 6 on 1st down.
And Wyatt's looking better this game than he has all year. I know
already 3 for 3, and on the season, a 45% passer.
Incredibly accurate as well.
We get a timeout from the officials here momentarily. 9:39 left in the quarter. Greenwood is driven down to the Franklin Simpson 25-yard line. They've thrown it 3 times, run it twice, and completed all 3 passes to the Jaggers, who has been the main guy for them this season, which doesn't say too much with an offense that has only thrown it so much like Greenwood has, but utilizing that quick passing game, and that's more so what we're used to seeing from this Greenwood offense in past seasons.
Yeah, they're running that RPO, run-pass option.
Schwarzkopf, left side of his quarterback wide. This time gets it running right, bounces off a defender, dragging another one forward. He's not going to have enough for the first down, chopped down just a yard short at the 22.
Another thing to notice on that play, all the receivers are on the right. The running back was on the left, Schwarzkopf. So there's nobody to RPO, so you know it's a guaranteed run on that play.
They've got a Wildcat down after the play around the original line of scrimmage. Can initially tell who it is. It starts with an 8, so I'm going to assume it's Jamarius Franklin that's down. The season that he's had, we really talked about it after that Butler County game where he had 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack for Franklin Simpson. 38 tackles on the year, has done a really good job of getting into the backfield, and that would be a really big loss against a team like Greenwood that's going to try to get it around the edge with all those playmakers. And in that passing game, you'd really like Jamarius to be able to bring some pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a bad injury for Franklin Simpson. You don't like any injuries, but, yeah, that one's tough if that's who that is.
9:09 left in this opening quarter. Greenwood has had their way so far. They've done it on the ground. They've done it through the air, but it's going to be a key 3rd and short as Jamarius is helped up, walking gingerly on his ankle. Looks like he's starting to walk it off a little bit. We'll see how that progresses. You know he's going to do everything he can to get back into this football game if he's got an opportunity to. But he's going to sit out at least this play, and I would assume the rest of this drive as the Wildcat defense stacks up for a 3rd and 1. Backs against the wall. They saw this time after time against Glasgow 2 weeks ago and made stand after stand in that ball game. Can they do it here on a 3rd and 1, 3 minutes into the ball game? Wyatt in the gun. Schwarzkopf to his right. Hands it off. Running left. Looked like he might have been wrapped up at first, but a really good cut back to his right. Needed 1, picks up 2, and the Gators are down to the Franklin Simpson 20.
That's another play with that ineligible tight end that they're just going to keep running behind. So you either
and it seemed like Franklin Simpson had an idea of what it was going to be. Tried to get out there on the edge, but that was a good job by Schwarzkopf to bring it back inside.
Yeah, it looked like they're trying to slant that way. I don't know if they're slanting against the back or how they're doing, but they looked like they were trying to go that way.
2 wide receivers right. They've got that up back in there again. Schwarzkopf gets it running left. He's wrapped up and barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Really good job that time by the Wildcats of getting into the backfield. Lane Alford, the first one there, that wrapped him up by the legs and didn't let go.
Both linebackers were in the backfield. That was a good read. Jackson Gass was back there as well.
Yes.
So that means they're reading their keys and they're getting to the football.
2nd and 10. First time the Cats have had the sticks in their favor. As now Greenwood shifts the formation. They move 2 tight ends to that right side. Schwarzkopf to the left of his quarterback, Wyatt. They're going to run to that right side, of the Cats blow it up. They were all over it like you talked about, Tyler Arterburn. And that time, Aiden Jones shoots into the backfield to make the play.
A way to pay attention in the film room, young man, and know where the ball's going and just go to it and stop him in the backfield. Good play, and now Greenwood's in a 3rd and 12. It's not a position they want to be in. You know, Wyatt, the quarterback, has made a lot of improvements, but you still don't want to be in a 3rd and 12 with your backs against the wall.
Spot where you're looking at a chance for one of those balls tossed up, and this Franklin Simpson secondary can look to make a play. They shift the formation again, same as it was. 2 tight ends right, the running back to the left of his quarterback. They try to get the Cats to jump. They do, and again, a rule that we've referenced multiple times this season. If you jump, you can't get back. They're going to call it, and now it's a 3rd and 7. They'll mark it down to the Franklin Simpson 17. That's a really costly penalty with 7:24 left in this first quarter of a scoreless game.
Yeah, not only is it 5 yards that you give up, but now on this play on 3rd and 7, you're kind of in no man's land where, you know, you can still run it and it's 4-down territory, and you're also not going to fire off the ball as hard because you're nervous to get an offsides penalty.
3rd and 7 is a whole lot different from 3rd and 12. They do the same thing where they line up those tight ends on the left and shift them right. Schwarzkopf at running back, takes the handoff. It's a double handoff to number 26, surging up the middle inside the 10 and picking up the first down for Greenwood is Freeland, that fullback that we talked about. They handed off to Schwarzkopf. Freeland ran over from the right side, sprinting to his left. He picks up 9, and Greenwood takes advantage of the penalty and picks up the first down to set up a 1st and goal.
And it looks like Freeland, he's able to get the ball and run it well. He's an effective runner, not carried a lot this year, but whenever he needs to, he's able to make plays for his team.
He leads this team with 8 touchdowns. They usually go to him down here around the goal line. That time they use him to pick up the first down on the gadget play. Schwarzkopf running left, has a hole, cuts up field, dives for the end zone. He's in, and Greenwood keeps the ball for nearly half of this first quarter. They march down starting at their own 40, aided by the penalty, and they score on the 8-yard touchdown run from Caden Schwarzkopf.
I mean, didn't give up a huge play, but I mean, Greenwood was just able to a couple penalties here and there, and it's a much different first drive, but nonetheless, Greenwood gets it in.
Only the 5th touchdown on the ground for Schwarzkopf, despite being top 10 in 5A in yards. Cats bring pressure here, can't block the kick. It's up, and it's good. And with 6:25 left first quarter, Greenwood strikes first. They lead at 7-0 over Franklin Simpson right here on 92.3 WFKN.
Looking for a place to connect, grow, and worship? Discover Franklin First United Methodist Church in downtown Franklin. Join us every Sunday for 2 uplifting services. Experience our traditional service at 9 a.m., where hymns and heartfelt messages bring our community together. Or come to our contemporary worship service at 11 a.m., where you'll find a lively atmosphere filled with modern music and inspiration. No matter where you are on your faith journey, there's a place for you here. Join us this Sunday at Franklin First United Methodist Church. We can't wait to welcome you home.
Back with you here at Franklin Simpson High School, where Colin Anderson fields the kickoff, sprints down the right sideline. He's gone for a score, but as we see up here in the press box, down at the 33-yard line, staring up at us with an ugly, ugly glare, is a penalty flag.
Yeah, and you see that so many times on a kickoff return or punt return for a touchdown. Penalty flag. Usually a block in the back or a hold, or this one's going to be a block in the back.
It was a one-on-one for Colin. They opened up the sea for him. It was just him and the kicker, and, well, you know every time who's going to win that battle. But it's going to come back. There's a reason, Tyler, that hole was so big there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he had a great effort. Colin had a great effort.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Now, with having to return that almost 70 yards and making moves, he has to come off and take a breather for a play too. So it's just a very detrimental penalty.
Wildcats will start at their own 25-yard line instead of getting the kickoff return touchdown, trailing at 7-0 after Greenwood goes 60 yards in 11 plays, capped off by the 8-yard touchdown run by Schwarzkopf. No big plays, like you said. They only had one play go for more than 10 yards, and that was a 12-yard pass, but just looked like a Franklin Simpson drive to start the game on that side for Greenwood. Let's see if the Wildcats can respond now. Delk under center. Alford is behind him. They hand it off to Lane, trying to run right, dives forward for a gain of a couple. Didn't have much space there with that big Greenwood defensive line that is led by Todd County's central import, Kenny Red Coleman, who, Tyler, you were very impressed with physically and in terms of his style of play coming into this ball game.
Yeah, and he can play linebacker. He can play defensive end in a pass rush situation. He's a very versatile player. Gets after it. He's very disciplined as well. When he's played defensive end and playing the run game, he doesn't just run upfield and put his teammates in a bad spot. He holds his ground and holds his position well.
Good to see Blake McPherson back out there for Franklin Simpson. He's sent into motion right to left. They pitch it to him on that left side. Cuts through a hole, 30, 35, dragged down at the 36-yard line, but he's got enough for a Franklin Simpson first down. Welcome back, Blake McPherson.
And, yeah, just a great run right around the edge, able to get the first down, and I'm sure that feels good. And his family's excited as well to have him back out on the field in that Franklin Simpson gear.
Blake now just 105 yards away from 2,000 for his Franklin Simpson career. And keep in mind, he's just a junior.
Yeah.
So a lot of accolades on the line tonight as Lane Alford is one of those hunting for that 30th career touchdown. He's in the backfield as the fullback here, 1st and 10 at the 35. Lane gets it running right, spins away from the first tackler, tries to drive forward. Against a lot of teams out of work, against Greenwood, it's not going to. They're going to wrap you up, and they're going to drop you for a gain of 1.
And so this is going to be a test with this big defensive line for Greenwood, powerful, aggressive. I mean, they're always going to be aggressive. I talked about in the pregame William Howard and his mentality. Man, he's a competitive person, been head coach, defense coordinator for a long time. Just a very competitive person.
The Wildcats ran for nearly 230 yards against Greenwood last year, so we're able to have success in that fast of the game. Just couldn't score. The snap is high to Delk, eventually grabs it, does a really good job of handing it off, but Alford lost it. Greenwood coming the other way. Anderson trying to wrap up the defender and is able to. That was Jackson Howell that recovered the fumble. That play was off from the jump, and now 2 flags come in after the play. It's a turnover. We talked about the importance of those for a Greenwood defense that had only forced 2 all season. The Wildcats hand one over, and the Gators are going to have the ball initially inside the Franklin 5, but they called the penalty after the play against Greenwood. So this will, if nothing else, get walked back 15 yards to give Franklin a little bit of breathing room, but a very costly unforced error there.
Yeah, we talked in the penalties and turnovers, you just can't have them if you want to win the football game. That was a very, very costly turnover at a time where you wanted momentum and you wanted to get it back and you were down 7-0. But now Greenwood gets the football inside the 20 and trying to score.
It'll officially be marked on the right hash at the 18-yard line of Franklin Simpson. Howell recovered the fumble for Greenwood. Jackson Howell, one of the 16 seniors on this Greenwood team, had forced their only fumble of the season. They had yet to recover one. They pick it up there, just the 3rd forced turnover all year. Franklin Simpson had 3 games of clean football, and there they turn it over to a Gators offense that just marched down 60 yards in 11 plays, and now much shorter field with Wyatt in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers to the left. Schwarzkopf on his right hip. They fake the handoff, looking to throw across the middle. Is it intercepted? No, they rule it incomplete. Delk can't believe it. He jumps up, spins around, thought he had it. Colin Anderson's pleading his case. The officials, I don't think, are going to discuss it. Brady jumped up and down multiple times after the play, thought he had it. It's tough to know. High school level, there's no looking back at it. It was an incredible play to break it up in the first place, but what a swing that would have been.
Yeah, it would have been a big play, and great ball skills and great play by Brady even to get an incompletion because, I mean, that almost was a touchdown.
It was. This time they put the wide receivers on the right side. Schwarzkopf on that side as well, gets the handoff running left, tries to cut up field. He's hit wrapped up by the legs, trips inside the 15 to the 14-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 6. Can the Wildcat defense get off the field on 3rd down this time? We saw the trick play pulled out last time for Greenwood. They've already, you could say, thrown their fastball with that one. We'll see what they go for here on 3rd and 6. Similar yardage to that last 3rd down. They've got 2 wide receivers on the left side. Schwarzkopf on the left hit of his quarterback, Wyatt. Now he moves to the right side, and they shift those tight ends to the left side of the formation as well. Wildcats jump again, and the flag comes in. Give them 5. It'll be 3rd and 1. 3rd offside penalty for Franklin Simpson in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you do that for a reason. It's to slow them down, and you also, if you can get a free 5 yards, that's nice to have as well. And Greenwood showing a lot of discipline.
And Greenwood brings in their big package here. They're going to have the fullback Freeland in a wildcat formation with 3 big bodies as up backs in front of him to the right side. Under 3 minutes left in the quarter, it's snapped to Freeland, running right. Gets inside the 5, wrapped up at the 4, has the first down. And after the penalty, Greenwood again takes advantage, and it's 1st and goal.
And then they're going to line back up in this, what we call heavy look again. And
this is what they like to do. I mentioned Freeland with his 8 touchdowns. It's not hard to see how he gets them. Standing in that wildcat formation again. Wildcats jumped. It is again going to be against Franklin Simpson. 4th penalty. Jumping before the snap. And that time it's hard to imagine they were really trying to draw them off sides out of that wildcat formation.
Yeah, what Greenwood does, it's a little different. It's a little old school. The quarterback will say down, and all the linemen will get their hand down at the same time. And that's not something you see as much in this day and age in football.
So now Freeland just has 2 yards to go with that jumbo set in front of him. Gets the snap. It's behind him. Loose ball. Freeland able to fall on it back at the 16-yard line. Franklin Simpson gets a gift. It's going to be 2nd and goal, but back at the 16-yard line as they snapped it over his head. Was able to get a hand on it, but couldn't corral it, and that ball flew straight backwards.
And that's about the only way that Franklin Simpson was going to be able to stop that power set for Greenwood. And, oh, my goodness, that's a big momentum play for their mistake.
Oh, and you can't jump back and give him any free yards. As now Wyatt's in an empty formation, has up backs to each side, takes the snap, fakes a handoff on a sweep. Looking right side, has a man wide open. It's caught. Touchdown. Schwarzkopf was all alone. Beautifully designed play on the fake jet sweep. Schwarzkopf leaks into the right corner of the end zone. Perfect throw from Wyatt. And what a stretch of 2 games he's now put together. 5 touchdowns, no picks over the last 1 game and 1 quarter.
And I mean, just a lot of confusion by Franklin Simpson on that play. They didn't know whether there were defensive backs. They didn't know whether there was a run, pass. Credit to Greenwood, good play fake, and they were able to execute.
1:45 left, opening quarter. Extra point is on the way. Cats again brought everybody. They hit the kicker who goes down. I don't see a flag come in. Made the kick regardless. And it's all Greenwood with 1:45 left in the first quarter. They lead at 14-0 over Franklin Simpson here on 92.3 WFKN.
Special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years. Easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
Franklin Simpson sets Greenwood up with a short field, and even after a botched snap in the wildcat formation drives the Gators back to where they had started at the Franklin Simpson 18. They still capitalize with an 18-yard touchdown pass from Levi Wyatt to Caden Schwarzkopf. It's been all Greenwood, very reminiscent of the game up at the Swamp last year. They lead at 14-0, but Franklin Simpson going to get a little bit of a gift here as the kickoff goes out of bounds. And the Wildcats will start with great field position as things have really been in a backspin since we go back. Greenwood started the game with 11-play, 60-yard drive. You're okay with that. Obviously, you want to hold them, but that's not the end of the world. Kickoff return touchdown called back because of a penalty. Fumble gifted to Greenwood to start that last drive. I think if you're the Wildcats here, as much as we talked about the fast start and wanting to score quick, this is probably the time for one of those sustained drives.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a chance in this game, I mean, you got to get some points on the board. You got to start making some plays and trying to take this over.
Groves is the lone wide receiver, split out to the right side. Ball is on the left hash as Delt goes under center. McPherson into motion to the right side. They give it to Anderson running left. Multiple defenders in the backfield. He's wrapped up around the shoulder pads. Was still able to leak up for a gain of 2, maybe 3 to the 38-yard line. We'll see where they officially spotted it. I think the knee went down back at the 37, which is where they're going to put it for a gain of just 2.
And not bad to get 2 yards on that play. There wasn't much there, and he's able to sneak through and get a couple.
Colin has not been used as much in the ground game this season. Still has 436 yards and a couple touchdowns, but really has emerged with what he's been able to do as a receiver. And with Blake McPherson back, you figure it takes even more pressure off of Colin in the ground game. As McPherson goes into motion left to right, they pitch it that way, have numbers in the blocking game. Blake gets past the 40, 45, runs over a man running out of bounds. He's got another first down. Both of them have come from Blake on the ground with that pitch to the outside. That time picks up 9 to the 46-yard line.
Great job, but to get that first down and an incredible block by Brody Perry out there on the edge. And, oh, my goodness, he's able to spring Blake for that first down.
Well, with all that size up front for Greenwood, you can see why Blake had success last year, and it really sets up to be a game where, as much as we've leaned on Lane and 8 in the last couple of weeks, you're going to have to get the ball outside against this big Greenwood front. Here it's a 1st and 10 at the Franklin Simpson 46-yard line. 54 seconds left, first quarter. Cats trail it by 2 touchdowns. Delk hands it off. Alford tripping forward, picked up 2 to the 48-yard line. So they've tried to feed it to Lane, and even if you include the run with the fumble, 4 carries so far for just 10 yards, when we've really seen him showcase much more explosiveness this season, around 8 yards a carry. Greenwood's been able to bottle him up so far.
Yeah, and this may not be his game, and that's okay, because what it does is it opens up other guys.
Yep.
You still need to hand the ball to him to draw those linebackers in. He still needs to run hard, and he'll get some yards, but he's not going to have a breakout game.
Fakes it to him this time. Delk, another fake handoff, looking down the right side, had too much juice on it for Anderson. I think checked his reads over the middle of the field and went to that right sideline, and his eyes kind of lit up when he saw how open Colin was a little bit of a window between defenders, maybe about 15 yards to fit that one in, and just put 5 yards too much juice on that one.
Yeah, I could have thrown a little bit, had a little bit more air under that football and just lofted it out there a little bit more, because Colin was wide open, but
when you go through your reads and you finally see that open guy, I think it was almost instinct that he let that one rip the way he did.
Yeah, you get a little excited back there and you just let that football fly, and sometimes it gets away from you.
First pass attempt for Franklin Simpson falls incomplete. Will they throw it again here on 3rd and 8? 10 seconds left in the quarter. Delk fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it. We talked about the quarterback run game. Slips through some defenders up the middle, and he lost the football. Greenwood has it. The Gators have forced another turnover with the fumble. The ball popped out late in the play, and again there to recover it is Jackson Howell, who recovered the one on the first drive for Franklin Simpson. The Gators force another turnover, 2 drives for Franklin.
It's our favorite time of year here at Trent Bedding.
Forget a costume. I'm going all out this year for our Monster Halloween sale all month long. This will change me into the scariest monster you've ever seen.
Whoa, little Trent, don't drink that potion.
That's a little more like it.
You've really done it this time.
That's right. And I'm slashing all our prices.
With select purchases, you can receive a free mattress protector, a free set of sheets, or a free set of pillows. Don't miss our Monster Halloween sale at Trent Bedding.
Greenwood takes over after the Franklin Simpson fumble to start this second quarter. They get a 2-yard run from Caden Schwarzkopf, so they're now right at midfield with a 2nd and 8. Wildcats have gifted 2 fumbles to this Gators offense as Schwarzkopf gets it again, nearly broke free, was wrapped up around the legs at the last moment, needed 8 for the first down. It looked like Originally, they were going to give him 7, but now the official takes a step up. They've got the ball right at the line of game. They haven't signaled yet for the chains to move, and actually he's going to be a yard short here, Tyler Arterburn. So Franklin Simpson, in theory, going to have a chance to get a stop here, but Greenwood, whether it's been from penalty, whatever else, they keep getting these 3rd and short situations, and in these short yardage packages, they really like Freeland, the fullback, taking the snap.
Yeah, and he's a solid player out of this formation.
They've got him in that spot with the 3 big bodies to his right. Takes the snap. He runs to the left, breaks free past the 40, 35, 30. Gets a foot race inside the 20, 15, 10, 5. Hampton can't chase him down. It's a 47-yard touchdown run for Jackson Freeland and the Greenwood Gators in a statement game for this team. For Franklin Simpson, so much on the line, as we were talking about with the playoffs. RPI can become a factor. It's been all Gators. Just a minute and a half into the second quarter, they lead it 20-0.
Yeah, it's not been a good game by any means for Franklin Simpson. And, you know, they've been in this situation before, but they've not come back from a situation like this.
Freeland, the 8 touchdowns coming into the game were just 176 yards. That one a 47-yard touchdown run for his 9th score on the ground this season. And with 10:28 left in the quarter, it's 21-0 Greenwood. We'll keep it here because for Franklin Simpson, it's really been, this is kind of a Captain Obvious situation, the total opposite of the start you wanted, not just from a standpoint of, all right, we want to score. I think
try to make this a game.
Especially getting ready for what is the toughest game on your schedule at Hart County next week. How do you respond to adversity? Hampton takes the kickoff off a couple bounces, and he's wrapped up and dropped near the 25-yard line, and that's where Franklin Simpson will take over, trailing 21-0 on their senior night. So much going on here tonight. The Hall of Fame inductees being honored at halftime. It's not quite at the scale of a homecoming, but I know for Coach Chaney, another situation where there's just so much going on outside of the game. You wish as much as you could, especially coming off the bye, trying to get back into form, that you could just cancel out all that noise. But all the factors seemingly colliding so far tonight for a Franklin Simpson offense that has run how many plays? 9 so far, Tyler, and fumbled it away twice.
Yeah, only 9 plays they've been able to run so far.
Delka's under center, Alford behind him. Lane has not been able to get going. They fake it, go around the edge. McPherson trying to get outside, and he's wrapped up for what is going to be a loss of 1.
Yeah, he looked a little sore on that play. And
that's really the first run of the other 2 tonight. Actually, they'll give him the line of scrimmage, so it goes for no gain. But those first 2, it looked a little bit like normal. Blake, that one, you could see not quite up to speed yet.
Yeah, no, and – I mean, you got a choice. Do you try to get him comfortable for next week and playing a full game and getting that conditioning in, or are you nervous that I don't think he's going to get – he wouldn't be playing if he's going to get hurt more. So
Delk sends Anderson into motion this time. They give it to Blake up the middle, slams into that big defensive front for Greenwood, and again they stack him up for nothing. Might have churned forward for a yard.
And this is a big play for Franklin Simpson. I know you're at a 3rd and 9, I believe. Whenever they spot the football, and you know you've had things not go your way, but here's the thing about life, here's the thing about football, you're going to have things not go your way. You can make excuses, or you can try to fix it. So we'll see how Franklin Simpson, this is going to be a big play to see where the momentum is, where their mindset is as this game and this season is going to continue to go on.
9:10 left before halftime. Franklin Simpson trailing 21-0. Play action. Delk drops back. Nothing. He's running to his left. Has some room to operate. Turns upfield across the 30, 35. He's out of bounds right near the marker, and they're going to give him the first down at the 37-yard line. Got one more that he needed on the 11-yard run.
Good job by Brady just running the football, and you caught it in the pregame. Greenwood's let up a lot of yards to their quarterbacks, and Brady's having a game for himself so far and just putting the team on his back and getting that first down himself when nobody was open.
Had put Franklin Simpson into Greenwood territory on that last drive before the fumble on what was a really gritty run to get up near the first down marker. That time tucked it on a designed pass, made a play like we saw him do time after time in that Russellville game that we alluded to in the pregame. And the Cats have new life with a 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line, trailing it by 3 scores. Anderson goes into motion. They pitch it to him on the right side. Catch trying to get outside. Anderson turns the corner and now steps out of bounds at the 40. Picked up 3. Didn't quite have enough room to operate with.
And that's fine, and, kind of save your body because, Colin, you're not going to run through 4 guys. So they were there. Good play by Greenwood defensively, and they're going to be solid. They're going to be fundamentally sound, but you got to get what you can get. And 3 yards of play, it's not a bad deal.
And for all that size they've got up front, Coleman, who we talked about earlier, their leading tackler out there at linebacker, he's big-bodied, but he's got a lot of speed to him as well. He can move side to side.
Yeah, you can see why he's just a very standout player, leading them in stats and tackles for loss.
Delk in the gun, hands it off to McPherson, gets away from a defender in the backfield, has to tuck his head and dive forward for a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6 as Blake was able to pick up 16 yards on his first 2 runs. 2 yards on 3 carries since.
And not only is Greenwood, are they big, but, they got some speed as well, and they're able to close those gaps. They didn't stay open very long. They were.
And it's not speed really from the secondary. It's those linebackers.
Yeah, those linebackers are stout. They're stout, and they're quick, and they're wanting to get there, and they're wanting to knock your head off. They got a good team in this Greenwood defense.
It's Coleman, who we mentioned, Davis Chaney in there at linebacker, as well as Freeland, who we saw run away from everybody for the touchdown. 3rd and 6. They fake the pitch to McPherson, go to Anderson up the middle, dives up to the 43-yard line, but he's 4 yards short, only picks up 2.
It looks like Franklin's going to bring out the punt team, and in this position on the field you do, but, being down 3 touchdowns, do you try to draw them off sides or you try to run up a fake? We'll see what they do. My guess is they're just going to punt it.
If things go smoothly, it'll be the first time the Franklin Simpson defense has really been put in a good spot. Greenwood with a couple of returners back there, 1 on each hash at the 30-yard line. McAllister had to go down to grab the snap, did a good job of fielding it, got the punt off cleanly, and it's fielded on the fair catch at the 31-yard line of Greenwood. The official had walked up to the 32, but that's where he thrown down his flag. Now he puts it at the 31, and that's where the Gators will take over. So their worst starting field position so far, but now we'll see what the Franklin Simpson defense can do. They've been on the field most of this game, which isn't too much of a concern when you consider that most of those guys are out there on offense anyways. But in dire straits right now, Tyler, got to get a stop.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, again, another big drive here on defense.
Wyatt fakes the handoff to Schwarzkopf. He's looking on the wheel route down the near side. Anderson plays it well, goes up over the receiver, tried to pick it off, but was still able to knock it away. Great job by Colin. We saw some pass interference penalties against Franklin Simpson a couple of weeks ago against Glasgow. That job, a really good job of getting his head turned around and making a play on the ball. Turned the receiver into the cornerback on that play.
Yeah, and he was able to go for the football, jump up over in good position. Was Colin, and he played it well. So good job, good improvement defensively.
Just the second incompletion for Wyatt now, who is 4 for 6 for 38 yards and the 18-yard touchdown to Schwarzkopf, who is on his left hip on this play with those 2 tight ends on the right. They hand it to him running to that right side. Across the 35, cuts up field, 40. He's got the first down, driving forward nearly to midfield. Gets all the way up to the 48-yard line before Franklin Simpson is able to bring him down after a 17-yard gain.
You don't see a lot of players that are just, especially at running back anymore, that just have their whole team surrounding them. And, man, that Schwarzkopf, he is a solid player.
Yes.
Everything goes through him. And you see why, because he's a great hard-nosed runner.
Wyatt in the shotgun. Now they've got Freeland up there as the fullback, so you got to watch Schwarzkopf in the receiving game. Caught the touchdown earlier. They run that quick out to the far side. It's over the head and incomplete of Jaggers. That's the exact same play we saw earlier in the ball game. Got him an easy completion last time. Should have been one there, but Wyatt put a little bit too much on it and overthrew his man on the 5-yard out.
And that's what I see more often than not with Wyatt, is even on these short out routes, he puts too much on it and throws it right over the receiver.
2nd and 10, ball just short of midfield. Greenwood at their own 48-yard line. 6:31 left before halftime. Gators looking to add to a 21-0 lead here at Franklin Simpson on senior night. One wide receiver on the left, man going into motion from left to right is Nathan Self, who they've used a little bit in the run game. They bring him back into motion right to left now. And Schwarzkopf gets the handoff going right. They tried to use Self as a decoy. Franklin Simpson was all over it initially. Schwarzkopf, though, as we've seen, drive forward past midfield, was able to get up to the 49-yard line. Really should have gone for no gain, but still finds a way to pick up 3. But here a 3rd and 7, and you got to figure priority number 1, don't jump on that snap count.
I think it's 4 or 5 times Franklin Simpson has jumped off.
We've seen 4 of those penalties in this game.
Yeah, that's I guarantee all the coaches are yelling at the defensive line, hey, tell everybody, do not jump.
Make them earn this on a 3rd and 7. What a big stand this would be. Split back look, 1 on each side. Self on the left, Schwarzkopf on the right. Now they send Self out into the slot on the left side. 2 wide receivers that way, 1 on the right. Schwarzkopf goes into motion right to left. They ran the swing pass earlier. They fake it here. Dangerous throw across the middle. It's just over the head of Anderson, who had dropped back into coverage and incomplete. And we'll see what Greenwood does here on a 4th and 7 at the Franklin Simpson 49-yard line.
Doesn't even look like they're going to even hit. It looked like for a second that they weren't going to punt, and now they're bringing everybody in.
I think there might have been a discussion, but Wyatt, the quarterback, had already headed off the field like he knew that was going to be the choice. The rest of the offense stayed out there, and then ultimately they make the call to punt it, and booting it away will be Freeland. They do it on linebacker, fullback, and for a team with so many numbers, so many bodies, you don't see too many two-way guys. He's one of them. He goes 3 ways for this team. Takes a low snap. Boots a high punt, a good one. That's going to bounce just around the 20, goes inside the 10, and Greenwood is going to down this ball at the 2-yard line of Franklin Simpson. Was a fantastic punt, and for Greenwood, took an even better bounce.
Yeah, you'd love for that one to be fair caught, but it wasn't a long punt. Just had a very long roll and right into right inside the 5, and now Franklin Simpson's got almost the whole football field to go.
The official was up at the 3, now pulls it back. Really looks like that ball's between the 2 and the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
So 8.5 yards to go if you're FS. 5:22 left in the first half. I think with that big Greenwood front, you just want to avoid disaster here, already trailing 21-0. Got to be clean in the operation. Alford's the fullback. Now flanked off to the right side. They send a man into motion. It's Anderson. Has a hole. Squeaks through it. 10. Can he get past the tackler? He does. Split off him. 30, 35, 40. Has a couple blockers. Past midfield. Going down the right sideline and finally dragged down in Greenwood territory around the 35-yard line. They were pinned inside the 2. Colin Anderson doing things that only Colin Anderson can do.
Absolutely. What a great run. And a lot of times you see that you got 98 yards to go. You're at the 2-yard line. A lot of times you just try to run it up the middle to get some yards, but not Franklin Simpson with Colin Anderson able to run it outside and get some good yards. Also a penalty on that play. Looks like a sideline warning for Franklin Simpson. Maybe some of the coaches or some of the players got a little too excited on there. No yards on this penalty, but if there's another one, there will be yards penalized on the team.
That goes for 64 yards for Anderson, who found the hole on the right side, and what a gutsy call there. The simple play is, all right, let's just give it to Lane. He's going to automatically get us 1 or 2 and find us a way out of this hole. They go to Anderson on the sweep, and that time up front, Franklin Simpson, an excellent job, had a huge hole to burst through, spun off a tackler, and Franklin Simpson's in business. Pitch out right side, McPherson. He's got a hole. Is able to slip through it across the 30, up near the 28-yard line. Solid gain on first down, and here comes the Franklin Simpson offense with just under 5 minutes left before halftime.
Yeah, that one looked like vintage Blake. He was able to hit that hole hard and get his yards that he needed. Now the offensive line are seeing some guys just hesitant to get up there and block. You got to be moving. We got to be motivated right now to get these blocks and to get this ball in the end zone before the half.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 now. Ball at the 29-yard line of Greenwood. 4.5 minutes left before halftime. Alford up the middle, gets past a tackler. Another one tried to chop him down by the legs, couldn't, and he's inside the 20. Another first down for Franklin Simpson. He picks up 10 on the ground.
What do you do if it's hard to run up the middle? Well, you take a guy out of the box. And so
yes.
You didn't have a tight end on that play, did Franklin Simpson. They had the tight end split out wide. The normal tight end, Killian Thompson, split out wide, and it's one less linebacker in there, and Lane was able to take advantage of it and have a good run.
This is a margin that looks really big, but Franklin Simpson, remember, kicked off to start this game. If you can find a way into the end zone here, waste some clock. This is a completely different game going into halftime.
Now Collins lined up wide.
Alford is flanked out on the left side. They're going to pitch it to him this time. They pull the guard lane inside the 15, spun around, able to trip down near the 10-yard line. Needed to get to the 9 for a first down, is just short, but Franklin Simpson getting creative now after they'd spent weeks simplifying this offense to avoid mistakes. Had mistakes anyway, so they thought, oh, well, let's spice this thing up a little bit.
Yeah, and it's a lot of unique formations to get the linebackers confused and to get some guys out of the box. And it's been hard to run up the middle with this solid defensive line for Greenwood, but now we've been able to put them on their heels just by simply changing the formations.
Ball just inside the 11, need 1.5 yards for a first down on 2nd and short. They go outside. McPherson, can he get the touchdown? One man to beat, going for the edge, reaches out for the pylon. They're going to mark him just short at the 1-yard line. Had a blocker out. There was a good job by the Greenwood defender to slip around and make that a play. Blake tried to reach it out for the touchdown. He's just short, but it's 1st and goal for Franklin Simpson. They might mark it back at the 2 where his knee was down. That is going to be the case, so it's a gain of 9. And the Cats have 1st and goal at the 2, and I would imagine here, Tyler, you really want to milk this clock here. Obviously, if you score in one play, great, but you want to milk this clock as much as you can.
Yeah, you don't need a home run. You just need a score.
3-back formation. Jones gets it stacked up initially, trying to fall forward, and he's held up short. May have only gotten back to the line of scrimmage. But not a bad thing in this spot. First carry of the game for Aiden. A bit surprising with how much we've seen him use the last few weeks. Goes for no gain that time, and the Cats can run this thing inside of 2 minutes. Same formation, all for the right back. Jones in the middle. They fake it to him, give it to Lane. He's knocked down, stacked up, and dropped for a loss.
And there's everybody stopping the clock. There's a timeout by Greenwood to try to preserve some of this clock. Even if Franklin Simpson scores, they're going to try to get a score as well.
Well, now the discussion we've had a couple of times before kicks in of, well, you want to run as much clock.
So I wonder if Franklin Simpson's going to change that, or are they going to try to incorporate a tight end pass here or pass to the tight end? I'm interested to see what they draw because, I mean, this is a very big play here to make sure that you get points. I mean, it's 4-down territory. You got 2 plays to get it in. Do you try to get a couple more yards and try to punch it in? I think they just go for whatever they can right here. A play that gets you in the end zone.
And they've actually pulled that ball back now, Tyler, near the 4-yard line. So it's a loss of 2 on the carry for Lane as the Wildcats have 2 plays to try to punch this in on a 3rd and goal. Multiple explosive plays on this drive. It's stalled now near the goal line. It's okay because you run some clock, but it's only okay if you find a way to score. Now a more traditional formation with Alford behind Delk. McPherson flanked off right, Anderson to the left. They bring Colin into motion. Go back to that sweep, sprinting forward, but he's dropped in near the backfield, was able to get forward for a yard, I believe. It was Cheney, Davis Cheney, the linebacker for Greenwood, that shot the hole and made the play. That was the sweep play they went to to get away from their own end zone earlier. Picked up 64 the first time. This time only gets 1. And all of a sudden, with 1:45 left before halftime, trailing 21-0, it's 4th and goal.
Yeah, and great.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
The tendency, you go back to the Union County game last year in the playoffs, the 2-point conversion. You need it to win it. They went to the play action. We saw 2 weeks ago, Glasgow, 4th down, play to ice the game. They go to the play action, slip Anderson out in the flat. Is that what the Wildcats do here? Or do they try to pound it in with a bigger formation, scratch all of that as they bring out Brody McAllister for a field goal try from the right hash? It'll be a 20-yard try. Snap is good. The hold is good as well. The kick up and good. So down 21-0. The Cats opt to take the points from Brody McAllister, his second field goal of the season, now 2 for 3 on the year. Very interested now, Tyler, especially given the situation. You were down 3 scores. You're still down 3 scores. What do you make of the decision to kick the field goal there?
Well, you need.
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
It also shows, I think, something that Coach Chaney talked about in our interview for the pregame show, and you talked about as well, standing out to you about this team. It shows you how much Franklin Simpson respects that defensive front on the other side for Greenwood. And when I say front, I don't just mean the linemen. You make that the front 7. Those linebackers, their speed and size combination as well. The Cats decide to take the field goal and now boot it back to Greenwood. The Gators with 1:41 to work with as the kickoff is fielded by Self. Running to the right, has a hole, gets outside, past the 40, down the sideline, across midfield. And finally, Franklin Simpson forces him out, or are they going to mark it back closer to midfield? We'll see exactly what the spot is. But Greenwood used the timeouts to preserve time. They hold Franklin Simpson to the field goal, and now they're going to be set up with primo field position. They're going to say the Wildcats weren't able to knock him out of bounds until he was in Franklin Simpson territory up at the 42-yard line. Or now, I think there's some confusion. One official had walked it up to the 42. Now another brings it back to the 49 of Franklin Simpson. So the Cats get 7 yards back there, but still a huge return to set Greenwood up once again with awesome field position. 2 wide receivers on the right side. Wyatt in the gun. Schwarzkopf behind him to the left. Takes the handoff. Running to the right. Gets walled off by the Franklin Simpson linebacking core and only picks up 2 yards.
I don't know what Greenwood's going to try to do here. It doesn't look like they're in any hurry. Maybe they just wanted to run one play and then see what they can do. They're in a hurry up now.
They're in a hurry up now. 1:10 left to go.
The tight end's ineligible, so, I mean, they're going to run. Looks like they're probably going to run it again.
Wyatt takes the snap, does hand it off to Schwarzkopf, running to the right, this time able to hop around the first defender, but dragged down for another moderate gain up to the 42-yard line. Picked up 5. And they need a couple here, a few actually. They need 3 yards on 3rd down. Do they go back to Schwarzkopf? They do, running right this time, goes outside. Now bursts upfield, he's got the first down and then some inside the 35-yard line. And with 37 seconds left in the quarter, now we see a bit more urgency from this Greenwood offense.
And now they change formations to where they're in a passing formation, and maybe they're going to try to take a shot here.
Under 30 seconds left before halftime. Wyatt takes the snap. He's looking to throw. It's that quick out It's again completed. Easy pitch and catch outside to Jaggers. But only gets about 6 before he steps out of bounds. Not a huge chunk play, but just something to get Wyatt back into rhythm after his last 3 passes have been incomplete. 23 seconds now left, frozen on the clock before halftime. Greenwood up 21-3. Ball on the right hash at the Franklin Simpson 27-yard line. They fake the handoff. Wyatt rolling to his right. Lets it rip downfield into the end zone. It's a one-on-one defended by Groves. Didn't get his head turned around, but didn't make contact, trying to play it cleanly. No flag thrown, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, he's fortunate on that he didn't make contact, because that could have been easily a pass interference. If the receiver would have come back to the football,
probably would have
been. So
instead, it's a 3rd and 4 with 15 seconds left before halftime. Greenwood has not attempted a field goal this year. They run a quick screen play to Jaggers on the outside. Spins off a tackler, then gets out of bounds. He's got the first down inside the 20. We'll see exactly where they mark that he stepped out. 8 seconds left before halftime. Picked up 7 to the 20-yard line. 4th catch of the half already for Jaggers. And now with 8 seconds left, Greenwood has a first down at the Franklin Simpson 20. If you're the Wildcats, no matter what, if you can keep the Gators off the board here, it's a win.
Yeah, I don't know if they got enough time to run.
They still got that one timeout.
I think they're going to throw it up right here.
Wyatt takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Looking across the middle, jump ball tipped by Delkin. It's incomplete. Was going for Schwarzkopf, who caught the touchdown earlier. Played well by Brady, who nearly had a pick earlier in this ball game. That time just able to get a hand up and deflect it away with 3 seconds left before halftime.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to kick that field goal.
This is their first field goal attempt of the season. They've had 2 kickers play. This one, the main one, Graham Smothers, who'd played all but the last game against Ohio County. He's 12 for 14 on his PATs, has not tried a field goal. This one would be a 37-yard kick. Left-footed kicker. Boots it up. It's got the distance, and it's good. Good from 37 and would have made it through for much longer. First field goal attempt for the year for Greenwood, and just like that, they answer the field goal from Franklin Simpson and deflate that Wildcat sideline. Now rushing in for halftime, trailing at 24-3. The lead for Greenwood back out to 21. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you all the stats from this first half of play, and also, once again, we'll be joined by Coach Tim Slosher talking about everything going on here at Franklin Simpson. We'll even chat a little bit about this Hall of Fame class that's in for FS this year. Again, your score at the halftime break, 24-3. Greenwood leads it over Franklin Simpson. You're on 92.3 WFKN.
Regional championships. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Frank Cardwell. Our next inductee was a high school letter winner in tennis from the 5th through 12th grade. He qualified for the state singles tournament all 4 years of high school. He won the regional title 3 times and was a runner-up once. He continued his tennis career at Western Kentucky University, where he played as the #1 individual tennis player. He was named to the All-Sun Belt Conference team in 1984. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Owens. Our next inductee's senior year, he amassed 1,881 total yards and 23 touchdowns. He totaled 2,549 rushing yards for his career at Franklin Simpson with 35 touchdowns. He was first team All-State, All-District, and All-South Central. He went on to play football at Western Kentucky University, where he was a 4-year letter winner. In 1980, he was first team All-OVC and UPI Honorable Mention All-American. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerry Flippin Jr. She scored 2,106 points in her career. One of only 3 players in her school's history to score over 2,000 points. One of only 6 players in her school history to be named to the Kentucky All-Star team. She was also named to the All-State team. She went on to play at Western Kentucky University and was named to the All-Sun Belt team her junior and senior years. She is the only player in our school's history to ever play in the NCAA Women's Final Four. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Veronica Cook-Lopin. Our last individual inductee has amassed 1,006 wins coaching baseball, with 676 of those wins coming at Franklin Simpson. At Franklin Simpson, he won 14 district championships, 6 region championships, 2 sectional championships, and our school's only baseball state championship in 1991. He was named Kentucky State Baseball Coach of the Year in 1991 and 1999. In 1997, he was inducted into the Kentucky Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame. This upcoming season will be his 50th year coaching high school baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Coach Greg Shelton. The 1975 Franklin Simpson football team is considered by many to be Franklin Simpson football fans' best team ever. In 1975, they were the first team to ever have an undefeated regular season. That year, during the regular season, they gave up only 33 total points to their opponents. They finished that season as the KHSAA's Class 3A state runner-up. The 1975 season put Franklin Simpson football and Franklin Simpson athletics on the map. This would be the beginning of the Franklin Simpson football being a traditional powerhouse in high school football across the state of Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our 1975 Franklin Simpson football team. And everyone, let's give one more Wildcat round of applause to our class of 2024 Franklin Simpson High School Athletic Hall of Fame inductees. Thank you.
Looking for a place to connect, grow, and worship? Discover Franklin First United Methodist Church in downtown Franklin. Join us every Sunday for 2 uplifting services. Experience our traditional service at 9 a.m., where hymns and heartfelt messages bring our community together. Or come to our contemporary worship service at 11 a.m., where you'll find a lively atmosphere filled with modern music and inspiration. No matter where you are on your faith journey, there's a place for you here. Join us this Sunday at Franklin First United Methodist Church. We can't wait to welcome you home.
What makes us special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
Halloween is our favorite time of year here at Trent Bedding.
Forget a costume. I'm going all out this year for our Monster Halloween sale all month long. This will change me into the scariest monster you've ever seen.
Whoa, little Trent, don't drink that potion.
That's a little more like it.
You've really done it this time.
That's right. And I'm slashing all our prices.
With select purchases, you can receive a free mattress protector, a free set of sheets, or a free set of pillows. Don't miss our Monster Halloween sale at Trent Bedding.
For a place to connect, grow, and worship, discover
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go, Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat Senior, Colin Anderson, is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your Franklin Simpson High School Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of junior drum major Caitlin Hughes. The band's 2024 program is entitled Luck of the Draw. This year's production features music from Lady Gaga, the Rolling Stones, Pharrell, Maroon 5, and a rendition of Luck Be a Lady from the musical Guys and Dolls.
bet he gets by. Everybody doing this one, though. Come on. Same here? Yeah, this is the same one. I bet not see the same. I was going to say the same thing. I bet not see the same profile. I bet not.
Drum Major Caitlin Hughes is the band ready.
Smart machine flashing lights, coins that make man what a sight. Pull the lever, hear the ring. Jackpot baby, bring the blade. Roll the dice, give it a go. In this game I'll make my show. Red bid don't need no flaw. All comes down to the luck of the draw. It all comes down to the luck of the draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up and place your bets.
Franklin Simpson High School Marching Band, you may take the field.
With each bet, the stakes grow higher. The cards don't fall as they should, and the dice don't roll in your favor. It's now or never. The chips are on the table. It's all about the luck of the draw. Are high. This is your moment. The cards are dealt. The chips are down. And then, jackpot.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Franklin Simpson High School marching band. Tomorrow the band heads to One Central to compete in the Kentucky Music Educators Association West Regional Quarterfinals. From there, the top 6 bands in the class will advance to semifinals. We wish the band their best performance of the year tomorrow. This year's show would not be possible without the continued support of the school board members, Superintendent Mr. Tim Foster, FSHS Principal Mr. Michael Rich, FSMS Principal Mr. Jason Grover, Director of Athletics Mr. Matthew Wilhite, and the Franklin Simpson Band Boosters. The band is under the direction of Kyle Graves, who is assisted by Amber Lamassis. Instructional staff includes Dan Livingston, Isaac Perkins, and Aaron Taylor.
as always, I say as always, really, well, 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Thank you for coming on here. We'll take you when you got the time for it.
We'll do it. Thank you.
We're going to hand it back over to Tyler Arterburn as we get you the numbers from this first half of play. If you're just joining us, Franklin Simpson trailing 24-3 to Greenwood at halftime of their senior night here at Franklin Simpson High School. And there's not too much of a disparity when you break it down by the numbers, Tyler. Franklin Simpson on the ground, nearly 150 yards, which is on pace with what they've been doing over this 3-game winning streak. They've really pieced it together on the ground. Last game against Glasgow a couple weeks ago, 297 yards rushing, on pace for about the same thing, 147 in the first half of this game. Granted, 64 come on the big play from Colin Anderson, who leads the way with 5 carries for 72 yards for Franklin Simpson. Lane Alford, Blake McPherson, both 7 carries. Blake with 32 yards. Lane held to 26. Brady Delk with a couple of carries for 17 yards. But obviously the big thing, those 2 fumbles, and with where those came on the field, with where they came in the game, preventing Franklin Simpson from getting much momentum, those 2 fumbles certainly loom larger than any other number we can throw out from that first half.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, Franklin Simpson's not played bad.
No.
I really don't think they have. It's just, I mean, you punted once, you had a field goal, and then 2 fumbles. So, I mean, adequate amount of yards, adequate amount of plays for what you'd want. But here's the thing, and I said it a little bit in the first half. This reminds me a little bit of the Adair County game. And Adair County, Franklin Simpson shut down. They ended the game. They didn't want to be there.
Yep.
I mean, this is October. You can't have that mindset anymore. So this is going to be a real test. Things are going to not go your way. So it's all about how you, in life, in football, it's how you respond to when things don't go your way.
And for Franklin Simpson, it's all about building towards that game next week against Hart County, which you lose some of your leverage going into that game if you lose this ball game, because the point of that game, if you get a win, you can force a 3-way tie at the top of the district between Franklin Simpson, Hart County, and Adair County, because Franklin lost to Adair, Hart beat Adair. You get that win over Hart, you force the tie, it comes down to RPI. If you can get a win over a 5A team tonight, your numbers are going to look really good, especially then with Warren East, a 4A team waiting in the season finale. But as we expected to be the case, Hart County is getting their money's worth from Glasgow right now. Looks like just a touchdown game at the half.
Yeah, just 7-0 at the half, and, you know, it's just and that's a lot closer than anybody would have expected. It was a lot closer than I would have expected, but we'll see what Hart County can do next week. But yeah, this is for RPI, and I don't understand it because it's computers. Nobody understands. Nobody's supposed to understand it all and how it works, and there's no just correct formula for it. But what you do know is you got to win games.
Greenwood 132 yards on the ground, 49 through the air. Franklin Simpson 147 total yards, all on the ground as the Cats receive the kickoff. Hampton gets it at the 15, across the 20, 25, and wrapped up and pushed down at the 27-yard line. Franklin Simpson will take over there for their first drive of the second half, trailing it 24-3. And you look back at that first half, the troubles came at the beginning. The 2 fumbles were on the first 2 drives, then the punt, and then eventually the field goal on a drive that went from their own 2, got as close as the Greenwood 2, couldn't punch it in, and had to settle for 3. That word settle, you cannot afford to do that in this second half.
Yeah, I think we talked about starting this game fast, which is kind of a head scratcher. This half needs to start fast.
McPherson gets it outside, burst through the hole initially, but tripped up, and boy, he bounced up knowing that he was just a shoelace away from breaking a big gain. Instead, goes down for a gain of 4.
I'd like to see a little bit of a swagger by Franklin Simpson on this drive and have some of these guys on offense and the offensive line having a little bit of an edge about them as they're getting to the ball, as they're getting to the huddle, and build some confidence as we're going to try to make this a game.
And here we see a shotgun formation. Both running backs are out wide. McPherson's in the slot on the right side. Anderson by himself on the left side. Delk pumps once. He's going on the wheel right. It's there, but he overthrows Perry down the sideline. Coming in pursuit was the corner Howell. Eventually closed in a little bit, but that time Brady just floated it a bit too much towards the sideline and didn't give any space for Perry to try to make a play.
Yeah, not a bad football, but, you know, it wasn't catchable because it was thrown out of bounds. And like the formation, like the look. And
I like that play.
You had a guy open. Wheel route looked like, or a go route. I don't exactly know what the route was. But nonetheless, Brody had a chance to catch the ball.
They've got Lane split out on the slot on the right side here. Franklin Simpson does not like the alignment at all, though, and Coach Cheney takes a timeout.
Yeah, maybe some confusion down there. Guys didn't know how to line up and got to burn an early timeout.
Looking for a place to connect, grow, and worship? Discover Franklin First United Methodist Church in downtown Franklin. Join us every Sunday for 2 uplifting services. Experience our traditional service at 9 a.m., where hymns and heartfelt messages bring our community together. Or come to our contemporary worship service at 11 a.m., where you'll find a lively atmosphere filled with modern music and inspiration. No matter where you are on your faith journey, there's a place for you here. Join us this Sunday at Franklin First United Methodist Church. We can't wait to welcome you home.
You want to get some excitement on your sidelines. You want to show that your team has heart. You want to show that they are willing to fight even when their backs are against the wall.
Well, it's not like if you lose this game, all of a sudden you're out of the playoff picture.
No.
Like we talked about, it's not a district game, and if you're Franklin Simpson, you've clinched at least the 3 seed with your win over Glasgow. But if you lose this game, even if you beat Hart, the numbers do not favor you in that RPI, and you're looking at more than likely being trapped into a road game to start the playoffs. They come out in an empty backfield shotgun formation. The Cats got away with jumping early. It works out. Lane Alford all alone on a screen across the 40, 45, midfield, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Can he beat the last man down the sideline? He does. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Oh, my goodness. That's a play. I said you need to score quick. I mean, nobody was expecting Lane Alford. It shows those wheels again like he did last week on that run or 2 weeks ago. But, man, he caught that ball and took off.
Nearly got caught from behind, but had just enough left in the tank to wheel it in. And there it is for Lane, career touchdown number 30, and what a way to get it.
Just like we thought it would be.
Coach Schlosser's still up here. He gave us a look. He said they needed to score fast. It took 1 minute and 5 seconds. PAT up. It's good. It's a 14-point game. 24-10. Alford scores on the near 70-yard touchdown catch. You're listening to Wildcat Football on 92.3 WFKN.
Special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
Franklin Simpson calls the timeout ahead of the third down play at their own 31-yard line. They come out in the shotgun. They dial up the screen to Alford. And I still took notice, Tyler, I mentioned this before the play. A couple of the Wildcat receivers moved early, and Franklin Simpson got away with it, took advantage. Everybody goes downfield. They slip Lane out underneath. Beautifully executed. And if you're going to call a timeout this early into a half, boy, you better come out with a play like that. Now the Cats will boot it away, down by 14 after their first touchdown of the night. Greenwood had 3 returners back. They set up a pitch after it was initially received, and now it's pitched over to Self. He's up around the 40 and drives forward to the 43-yard line of Franklin Simpson. A little trickery from Greenwood as they had the 3 returners back. One fields it, then pitches it to Self, who ran behind him. They made it pretty obvious that's what they were trying to do, and Franklin Simpson, all told, did a decent job of containing it, although Greenwood at their own 43, still good field position.
Yeah, but it's some of the best coverage we've seen all night.
It
either
is.
way.
They come out in the gun. Wyatt with the running back Schwarzkopf to his left. They bring a man in motion. That's Self in the backfield. He's chased down Alford, had the jersey wrapped up, couldn't bring him down, but gets some help, and 2-3 Cats pile on. Himshoot was there first, and that's a big loss on first down. They were up at the 43. That one marked down at the 39. They lose 4.
What I like seeing there were 7 Wildcats right at the football. You talk about team tackling. They did it there. Lane was there, but then everybody was there to help him to clean it up.
Coach Losher said it's a game of momentum. You get one score that can juice up a team. The defense needs a stop here. It's 2nd and 14. They fake the handoff. Cats are in the backfield, but Wyatt gets rid of it. It's a good scoop catch underneath by Freeland. He drives forward, caught it near midfield, and pushed to the Franklin Simpson 45 for a first down.
And Wyatt did a good job of just seeing pressure in his face and getting it off to a guy that can make a play, and he did. But I do like the energy that the Wildcats are bringing defensively. They're trying to make plays. They're blitzing. They're getting in the quarterback's face. They're just inches away on that one.
Wyatt now 7 for 12 in this ball game with 66 yards in the touchdown pass. Hands it off this time to Schwarzkopf, running right, cuts back left inside the 40, wrapped up around the legs, around the 37-yard line. Still a good gain on first down, and that's what the Greenwood offense looked like for most of that first half.
Yeah, and that's how they kill you. I mean, that solid offensive line up front, just able to punch and kick you and just, just man-on-man beat you down. And Franklin Simpson, you got to catch breaks when you can get them.
Schwarzkopf ran it 15 times in that first half for 70 yards. Here he's at the left side of his quarterback, Wyatt, who hands it off to him running right, escapes the first tackler, Hall on the right side inside the 35, and barrels down to the 30 for a gain of 9 and moves the chains again.
And Greenwood's just able, and they were able to do this last year. Franklin Simpson defensively, we talk about up front, Franklin Simpson lost a lot of linebackers, and they were just able to run all over Franklin Simpson last year in that game. And it's starting to look like that in this one. Some of these plays just not getting any penetration. Franklin Simpson didn't on this defensive line.
They had it on the first play of this drive, but haven't had any since. They go to Schwarzkopf again to the right side. Bounces outside. Flag comes in. We have not seen a hold tonight. We've seen a block in the back on the kickoff return touchdown for Franklin Simpson. We've seen some offsides, and there we get our first holding call of the game. Would have only been a gain of a couple, but it now scoots Greenwood back, and they've been in some bad spots. Just had the 2nd and 14. They were pushed back on the goal line before they converted on the 18-yard touchdown pass. This time, can Franklin Simpson take advantage of the mistake? Ball back just inside the Franklin Simpson 40. So it'll be really 1st and 19 after the hold. With 8:30 left in this third quarter, Cats down by 14. 3 wide receivers left, 1 right. Wyatt takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it outside to Schwarzkopf. They were trying to set up a bubble screen, but he threw it over his head. It's incomplete.
And, Franklin Simpson catches a break right there because
they do.
They didn't have numbers. They only had
two defenders over there versus the 3.
And I understand they're trying to stop the inside run, but you got to adjust that. Maybe they had a safety back there, but either way, if you're going to screen it out, you got to be ready for that.
But I think, too, they've got to key in. Anytime Schwarzkopf is not in the backfield, they have thrown the ball.
Yeah,
and more often than not, they're throwing to him. He's back at the right hip of his quarterback, Wyatt, who takes the snap. They're going to look to throw anyway. Fakes the out route. It's a slow go down the right side into double coverage. Incomplete. That one was very well defended by Groves. It was an up out. They faked the quick out to the receiver, Jaggers, who then turned up field. Can't connect. Wildcats were all over that one the entire way, defending the double move, and now it's 3rd and 19.
And I like Greenwood when they're one-dimensional. I like when they have to pass, when they're in a have-to-pass situation. I like Franklin Simpson's chances, but nonetheless, you still got to play defense. You got to play your keys. You got to watch these double moves. You got to make sure you're not confused by any backfield movement, play action fakes or anything. Just do your job.
2 wide receivers left, 2 tight ends right. They hand it off to Schwarzkopf. He fakes the double handoff running down the right side, but he's hit by 3 Wildcats in pursuit. Got inside the 35, near the 33. They faked that double handoff they had a big gain on earlier, but this time Franklin Simpson all over it. Didn't fall for the fake, only picks up 6. And now we'll see. It looks like Greenwood will play the field position game. Going to punt it at the Franklin Simpson 34-yard line.
This is tough. I mean, to punt from
Freeland pinned it at the 2 last time. It took a big bounce forward. We'll see here. If it bounces forward as much as it did last time, it'll go into the end zone. As we get a timeout and a procedural penalty against Greenwood. And honestly, I think that helps the Gators.
I do, and he didn't look like he looked like he was just trying to get set, but the official doesn't agree. But I think a false start, it helps you. I mean,
it does. It moves it back 5 more yards to the 39-yard line, which is last time he carried the punt about 28 yards before it landed at the 20 and then bounced down to the 2. So, again, a much better spot for Freeland, who is the punter for this Greenwood team, to go along with star linebacker and fullback. Cats are going to bring numbers. They've got 8 on the line. Alford has a free run back there. Diving effort, couldn't block it. It goes down the right side, and this one had backspin on it. Landed at about the 17-yard line. Spun out there. Lane was so close to it, but he was coming off the left side of the punter, Freeland, who then stepped to his right and punted it. If he had stepped forward into that punt, it would have been blocked. Instead, a good job that time to angle it. It didn't take that forward bounce, and the Cats, they officially mark it just inside their own 16-yard line.
And what Greenwood does, it's almost like they call it Australian rules, football punt or a rugby punt, however you want to call it. But he's running to the right and then punts it. You don't see a lot of guys doing that. It's a tough thing to do. But
I think almost if you're Franklin Simpson, you move Lane over to that side on these punt blitzes. Here, down by 14, you get the ball back. Can the Cats make something happen? Pitch outside. Anderson trying to get the corner, cuts up field, stiff arms a man, gets around him. Inside or past the 25-yard line, ball comes out, but he was down. It should be enough for a first down to start the drive, and the Cats now have pieced together some big plays to start this second half consistently.
Yeah, and I like that the run by Colin, just getting him on the outside, and he gets a first down, but man, these linemen, they gotta help him out.
Yeah.
You got a pulling guard out there that doesn't get anybody. You got to find somebody and get engaged on a block with him.
69-yard touchdown pass to Alford. Now the 11-yard run from Anderson. Colin up to 83 yards on the ground tonight. Had 64 on the one big run at the end of that first half. But it's been a good night for Colin. Lane, they fake it to him. Here goes Delk, left side, quarterback run. Past the 40, tripped up. He got up ready to run some more. There's that quarterback run game. And a flag comes in late as Greenwood was piling in on Delk for some reason. He has to pull himself away from the play, holding up his hands. I don't really know what happened there to cause that. Had picked up 15 on the run anyways. We'll see where this penalty goes. Surely that's against Greenwood.
It looked a little over-aggressive. I don't know what they were thinking. It's not NFL rules football where you can fall down and get back up, but he was down on the ground and they're waving the flag.
And they're waving the flag off. I don't quite understand that because they dogpiled onto Delk well after the play. Howell upset for Greenwood on the near side, the cornerback. I guess they thought it went both ways. I'm not sure, but regardless, it's a great run for Brady, who's run it 3 times, had the fumble on the big gain of 10 in the first half. He's got 32 yards on his 3 carries. Would like to see him more involved in that in the second half. Delk goes back under center, 1st and 10. We're halfway through this third quarter. Anderson into motion. They fake it to him, looking to throw downfield. Delk lets it loose across the middle, and it's dropped. He had Groves hit his hands at the 15. It was a touchdown if he held on, but couldn't reel it in. Pulls off the glove in frustration, just could not hold on. That would have made it a 1-score game.
Yeah, beautiful play fakes in the backfield, beautiful throw and beautiful route. Just you got to hold on to that football.
Brody Perry comes in for Kaysen after that play. Kaysen Hemshoot trying to lift him up on the sideline after the drop. Alford's the fullback here on 2nd and 10. They send Anderson into motion. It's play action again across the middle. Great catch by Brody Perry at the 40, 35, push down at the 30. Great catch in traffic, and the Wildcats connect after the drop. They still get a big play in the passing game.
Yeah, and they're moving. They're trying to get this ball moving quick, and Kaysen's coming back in, and I'm not so sure you don't go back to him again. Even though he had that drop, he's a senior. He wants it.
Yep.
I wouldn't look away from him, but maybe Franklin's going to try to slow it down. I don't know what they're going to do, but I like what we're seeing on this drive.
Fifth catch of the year for Brody Perry. That one goes for 27 yards. They're at the Greenwood 31-yard line. Play action again. Brady pressure from behind. Wrapped up, and a flag comes in. I guess they blew that one dead before the start. It's a good thing they did. It's a false start, and they lose 5 yards, but we're going to lose more than that on the sack. Greenwood had blown that one up entirely.
So I think one of the Franklin Simpson players didn't get set, and Greenwood, they're on their heels. I mean, they're changing guys in, trying to sub in, trying to get some extra blitzes, and trying to stop this pass game of all things.
We talked about this coming into the game. This is not a Franklin Simpson team that throws the ball, but Greenwood is not good against the pass. 27th in 5A, and in their losses, it's burned them in particular, giving up over 200 yards per game in the passing game. And here the Cats come out in the shotgun on a 1st and 15. Play action to McPherson. Delk flushed out to his right. Turns upfield across the 35. Gets a good block on the outside from Alford. Now slung down inside the 30. Still was able to pick up everything they lost from the penalty, and then a few more. Hops up quickly. It was a big collision. Was able to run it up to the 28-yard line. So gain 6. A good job by Brady, because there was absolutely nothing there. And that's what we saw in that Russellville game in particular. Design passes where Brady just makes something out of absolutely nothing.
Absolutely, and that's smart, because it shows that he's a smart, mature player, not trying to make the big play, but just run it, taking it and running, which is big plays too.
2nd and 7. McPherson goes into motion. They give it to Anderson running left. Can he get outside? Does. 25, 20, 15, 10. Green turf turns blue. Touchdown, Wildcats.
What a run. What a play call. Perfectly called play call. Now, I was talking about it. They're blitzing from the outside. They're blitzing everybody. What do? You get a play fake. Everybody's playing the pass now because we've had so many good pass plays, and you hand it off to Colin Anderson, who runs up the middle for a touchdown. I like what I'm seeing for Franklin Simpson, getting the momentum back and taking this game over.
Man, if this does not feel like a carbon copy of the game at Greenwood last year. First half goes as badly as possible, battle back, make it a game, and now the extra point blocked. It's blocked, and it remains an 8-point game. 24-16, and that's the thing to take into consideration. We'll keep it here because I haven't been able to mention this yet, Tyler Arterburn. Sam Satterley.
It's our favorite time of year here at Trent Bedding.
Forget a costume. I'm going all out this year for our Monster Halloween sale all month long. This will change me into the scariest monster you've ever seen.
Whoa, little Trent, don't drink that potion.
That's a little more like it.
You've really done it this time.
That's right. And I'm slashing all our prices.
With select purchases, you can receive a free mattress protector, a free set of sheets, or a free set of pillows. Don't miss our Monster Halloween sale at Trent Bedding.
You want to get this win. You want to keep this momentum going. I like what I'm seeing so far, but nonetheless, whatever happens at the end, I think we're seeing something for this Wildcat team.
And I think, like you said, regardless of result, with that Hart County game next week, and we're going to keep harping on this because that game's huge, you had to make this a game, and you had to build off of this. And here the Cats try the squib kick. It's fielded by the explosive corner Howell, who actually runs up and takes a knee at the 40. So I think they'll actually mark it up at the 41. I'm not sure why he did that. He's dynamic out in space. Nearly returned a fumble for a touchdown earlier, but Greenwood, again, going to have pretty good starting field position. It's an 8-point lead after the blocked PAT, which, could loom large as this game goes on. 4:08 left in this third quarter. It's been all Franklin Simpson so far with the big plays on offense. Made a stop last time on defense. We'll see if the Wildcats can do it again. Schwarzkopf still had another good drive there at running back. Only got 3 carries, but 21 yards on the ground on that opening drive of the second half. They hand it to him here running right, and he is stuffed in the backfield. Lane Alford blows that up.
Great job by Lane reading it and not just trying to get to where the guys guys are blocking, but trying to just catch him from behind and blow it up. Not trying to make anything too crazy, just get in the backfield and tackle the guy. Great play by Lane Alford.
Back-to-back drives to start the second half. Franklin Simpson defensively starts with a 4-yard loss. last time, gave up some more yardage and then settled in. Can the Cats take advantage here? 2 wide receivers right. The tight ends are lined up on the left. Schwarzkopf gets the handoff. They go for that double handoff. Here comes Freeland, breaks through across the 45, and he finally goes down at midfield. That has been their go-to play, either that double handoff or faking it when they need big yardage. They needed 14 there. They get 13. It's 3rd and 1 at midfield.
And they've ran that play a ton.
I wonder here, too, if they go to Freeland in that Wildcat jumbo formation, they will. And if you're Franklin Simpson, I'd stack that line. And now they've got 10 guys up in the box. Freeland awaits the snap, 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 1, takes it. Cats try to come across the edge, can't get him. Surges up the middle, trips across the 45, and they needed 1 yard. He was able to pick up 8 of them.
I'd like to start seeing Franklin Simpson. You know, you got time to sub some guys in because Greenwood has some guys that are just exclusive for that drive. I'd like for Franklin Simpson to sub some defensive linemen in there too, just counter it.
Well, if he's in there, it's going up the middle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of Franklin Simpson. Schwarzkopf gets the run, going right, cuts up the middle inside the 35-yard line. The line of gain is the 32. I think they're going to mark it down at the 33, so he picks up 9. Had that 4-yard loss to open this half, but, man, he has been so effective on the ground. It's so difficult because you know they're going to feed him the ball. He's really good with that first cut of waiting to make that first decision and then cutting hard, whether it's right or left. And here on a 2nd and 1, Tyler, the playbook wide open for Greenwood if they want it to be. They shift the tight end to the right side. Schwarzkopf now to the left tip of his quarterback, Wyatt. Cats almost jump, no flag. And Wyatt now checks his sideline. I think the plan there was to see if Franklin Simpson would jump. As Wyatt gets the snap, hands it off. Schwarzkopf bursting through a hole on the right side, stacked up at the 30. It escapes the first tackler, but still wrapped up at that 30-yard line. Picks up 4 and moves the chains again.
Yeah, just whenever you shift that tight end, I mean, it's no trick. It's, you know, they're running behind that tight end every time they shift.
Greenwood down to the 30-yard line inside a minute and a half left, 3rd quarter. It's a 24-16 ball game. Franklin Simpson with 2 touchdowns here in this 3rd quarter. Schwarzkopf again, left side of his quarterback, Wyatt, with those fullbacks on the right side. They like that play. They try to flea flicker. Schwarzkopf just lost it, dropped the snap. He was stopping to turn around and toss it back to his quarterback, lost the football, and they lose 3 on 1st down. And with the way they've been running the ball, I don't know about trying to pull that out there. In fact, they mark it back for a loss of 4.
Yeah, that's not the way they're running it. You don't need a home run. You just need to keep running the football. You don't want to go backwards. Greenwood doesn't, but Franklin Simpson is able to hopefully take advantage of it.
They've got Freeland in there as the up back. We'll see if they either show that double handoff or not. They don't. It's play action. Wyatt rolling to his right, fires across his body. It's picked off by Delk. Threw it right at him, tried to fit it into a tight window. They didn't give him the interception earlier. That time Brady brings it in, and Franklin Simpson is going to get the ball back in a 1-score game, all of it in this 3rd quarter.
And, you know, anytime you get Wyatt and he has to throw, it's not a good situation. Franklin Simpson, their defensive backs all year have gotten better and better and played really solid, and Brady's able to sneak under that play and get an interception. And, oh, my goodness, Franklin Simpson's able to be in business now.
Top 10 in the state as a team with 8 interceptions coming into this game. That's the first one of the year for Brady. Arguably should have had one earlier. And the Cats take over at their own 20-yard line. Officials rule timeout Franklin Simpson. So they've already used 2 of their timeouts here in this 2nd half with 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It was 20. Delk settles in under center. Lane is behind him. To his right is McPherson. Anderson flanked off on the right end as well. They give it to Lane. He's running to that right side. Hit initially 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. Drove up maybe for a gain of 2. We'll see where they mark it. They've got the first down. The markers were ahead of really where the ball was. And they're going to put this ball down at the 22-yard line, which really should have been a gain of 2, but they've got the markers at the 21 and 31-yard line, so it'll really go down a gain of 1. Like you said, Franklin Simpson calls the timeout. They come out, just run a simple play, and they'll get the secondary timeout as the quarter comes to a close. It's going to be a fun fourth quarter from Franklin Simpson High School. Cats trail at 24-16, but they've got the ball and the momentum in this second half. You're listening.
Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go, Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
Start of the fourth quarter from Franklin Simpson High School in the home confines of Shade Tree. Franklin Simpson has made it a ball game, trailing 24-16. They've got the ball in a 2nd and 9 at their own 22-yard line against a Greenwood team that led 24-3 at halftime. Delk under center, Alford behind him. Sends Anderson into motion, gets it running outside, jukes a man, and pushed out of bounds at the 25. It looked like he might not get anything there, was able to stutter step, get the corner quickly to pick up 3 and make it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, 3rd and 6, not a lot that you can do here, so I wonder if Franklin Simpson's going to try to go on 2 and make it a 3rd and 1 possibly, or they may take a shot here.
If you go back to the first drive of the half, they threw the screen to Lane on a 3rd and 6 to score that first touchdown. You've already exhausted that option. I don't think you can run that back. We'll see what the Cats do here. They've been willing to throw it here in the second half, had a drop on what would have been a big pass play, had a completion to Lane on that touchdown, and also a 27-yard completion to Perry. He's a wide out on the right side. McPherson goes into motion. They give it to Anderson running left. He's grabbed around the face mask, and Franklin Simpson's going to get a free first down. But now a flag comes in from the backside of the play as well. Interested to see what that one is. We know the one on the near side is the face mask. Another one came in from the back. Unless that was for the face mask as well. I don't know what that call from the backside would have been. Unless they just wanted to be in on it as well. It's not really their call, but it was that obvious of a face mask. And that's a first down for Franklin Simpson from the penalty. And that's also going to be a full 15-yarder.
Wow. And this is a good veteran official crew. I mean, I'm looking at the back judge. I've never seen him be a back judge. He's normally the head referee. And I'd say across the state of Kentucky, this may be one of the crews with the most experience this evening. And they've not thrown a ton of flags and let them play, and
they made that call pretty easy for him, though. One wide. They go to Alford, slamming up the middle. Gets past the 45, surges to the 46. Just a good, hard run, shot out of a cannon. That looked like the lane we've seen over the last few games to pick up 5.
And that's been his best run up the middle so far. You're not going to get a bunch of first downs running up the middle, and that's fine. That's fine. Just hold on to the football. Run when you can, and get the ability for other guys on the outside. This may not be your game, but if you run hard, other guys can get their shots.
Brody Perry wide left in the slot, kind of McPherson. Now he slides back in there at wing back. They hand it off up the middle again to Alford, and that one is stuffed. I don't know if they'll give him a yard. It looked like initially the official was. Now he walks it back to the 46. That one goes for no gain. Tried to go back to the well, and Greenwood was all over it.
Yeah, they were, and now you're at 3rd and 5, though, so you got a lot in your playbook. You can try to go on two, draw them off sides, and this may be a first down. I think they're a little bit short. No, they're right at it. So if they get a draw them off sides, it's a first down. But you also take a shot right here. You got Kason Groves coming in, and he's bound to. He's ran some good routes. You
had
give
the
him
drop earlier
chance.
and was disgusted by it, but you said after that, I don't think that deters you from throwing him the football. No. He's split out to the right side, still pretty close to the line of scrimmage, or to the ball, which is about 3 yards off the left hash. Delk sends Anderson into motion. Now they pitch it left side. McPherson tried some misdirection, but Greenwood was not fooled at all, and Blake loses a handful. That was jumped all over.
Yeah, and Greenwood looked like they knew what was coming. I mean, they did not hesitate to make that tackle whatsoever. They were in the backfield, and I believe Franklin Simpson's going to have to punt.
Yeah, I think there was maybe a chance there. You're in 4-down territory, but you lose 4, and on 4th and 9, no real choice but to punt this one away. As Greenwood will drop back those 2 returners in Self and Howell. McAllister standing at his own 29-yard line awaiting the snap. It's a good one. Takes his time. Boots it. It's a pretty low one. Self fields it at the 35-yard line of the fair catch, and that's where Greenwood will take over with 9:08 left in this ball game. Leading it 24-16. Franklin Simpson just one timeout left. Have been able to make some stands on defense. Had the interception from Delk. Couldn't make anything of it there. Were gifted the first down from the Greenwood penalty, but realistically, that drive was dominated by the Greenwood defense.
And this is a position where you don't like what you see with Greenwood because they're going to be able to run the football.
Yeah.
And I don't think they throw the ball at all. They're just going to run the football, try to milk this clock.
They shift the tight ends over to the left. You figure Schwarzkopf's going to be going that way. He is. Has a big hole past the 40, and 2 Wildcats wrap him up short of the 45. That's where he needed to get to move the chains, but still picks up 9, and we've seen a few of those first down 9-yard runs from Schwarzkopf here in this second half.
And a lot of these guys, as they're running the ball a bunch, you think, okay, they'll fumble the football, they'll get tired, but he doesn't look tired. I don't think he's playing much defense at all, if any, and he's going to continue to run the football well.
Stands beside his quarterback once more, takes the snap, running left, hurdles a man, gets past midfield, spins past a tackler. He did lose the football, but he jumped right back on her. Does Franklin Simpson have it? They do! The Wildcats were able to poke it out and take it away. Right after you said it, he lost the football. Franklin Simpson recovers, and there's another big play from the defense. Tyler Arterburn, why don't you talk about the opposing team's running back's ball security more often?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like being proved. I like for people to prove me wrong every now and then. That's one of the scenarios. Man, I was just talking about he's been holding that ball tight and having it, not even looking like it's anywhere close to being fumbled. And lo and behold, I talk about that ball security that he has, and he puts it on the turf, and Franklin Simpson's in business.
8:24 left in the ball game. Franklin Simpson takes over at their own 39-yard line. They trailed it by 3 touchdowns at halftime. Just had to punt it away. Can they make something happen here? Delk pitches it outside to Alford. Has some space. Barrels over a man across the 45-yard line and returns the favor to Greenwood like we've seen with Schwarzkopf on these runs. A 9-yard carry on first down.
Yeah, and Colin Anderson was split out wide, and I was thinking, okay, there's a flag.
But there's a flag. Franklin had played such a clean game up front, and this time I didn't see the motion. I didn't see them rule if it was a hold or a block in the back, but as they walk it back 10, that's a hold on Franklin Simpson. And just as they take over with all the momentum after the fumble, get a big gain from Lane, it's walked back to the 31-yard line. It's 1st and 18.
Which is, for this game, not been a bad situation because I like the way Brady's been throwing it. I like the way the receivers have been running their route. So you're still in business here.
Delk sends Anderson into motion. He fakes it to him. Looking downfield, flushed out to his right, being chased from behind. Brady flings it across his body. Downfield, has a man open. It's McPherson, caught at the 25. Wrapped up inside the 20, and a flag comes in on the tackle. Holy moly.
Yeah, I like how he's been throwing the football. Oh, my goodness. He was able to throw that football in there. Blake made a great catch. Oh, my goodness. These Wildcats are clawing and fighting.
My goodness. Welcome back, Blake McPherson. 47 yards that one goes for, and they're going to get extra from the penalty. Oh, it's actually a sideline warning against Greenwood, and the face mask as well comes in. And they're going to walk this ball down with the penalty. It's not a situation if you're Franklin Simpson where you still would have been in a good spot regardless. Didn't need the penalty, but now you're inside the Greenwood 10.
Well, now last time Franklin Simpson was inside the 10, they weren't able to score a touchdown. They got the field goal. Now let's see if they do some play action fakes, get the tight end involved. Let's see what Franklin Simpson's able to do here.
So accounting for the penalty actually goes for 49 through the air. Delk takes the snap, fakes it to the first man, goes to Anderson trying to get outside, slipped past one tackler, but did good just to get back to the line of scrimmage. That one goes for no gain with 7.5 minutes left in this ball game. Franklin trailing at 24-16, had the PAT blocked. And it'll be second and goal. They do mark that back for close to a loss of one. That ball was just inside the 10 before the play. I'm going to be nice to Colin and call it no gain.
There you go. But here on this drive, I mean, I'd like to be proven wrong again, but I just don't know if Franklin Simpson's going to be able to run the football and get the ball in the end zone.
Alford is the fullback. Anderson on the right side, McPherson on the left. They fake it to Lane. Delk keeps it himself. Stiff arms a man, but he's wrapped up by two defenders and pushed out of bounds just short of the 5-yard line. They've tried to exploit that weakness of the Greenwood defense. You know, Franklin Simpson scouted that, and they've noticed it. Delk did a decent job on that one, but still only able to pick up 3, and it's third and goal.
A play like that I'd like to have seen on the wide side of the field.
Yeah, give him some more room to operate.
Somebody that maybe run a route here, that you can dump it off to, but, it's still you gain some yards.
Anderson the right end, McPherson the left. Lane the fullback. They fake it to him. Collins open. Brady pressured, floats it up. Collins chases it down, reels it in, and the Wildcats are 2 points away from tying this game.
What a beautiful throw, and had somebody in his back and his hip, and oh my goodness, was able to get that football off, and Colin was able to catch it. Man, Franklin Simpson.
How did he get that throw off? 7 yards, and the Cats need a 2-point conversion to tie this game. What a throw from Brady Delk, who in this second half we have seen grow leaps and bounds. By far the best half of football he's played. And the play clock is down inside of 5 already. Cats hustle up. Delk takes the snap. They get it off in time going outside. Anderson, can he get the edge? He does! Hops over a man, and we are tied!
Oh, my goodness. The way Franklin Simpson has been able to respond. I saw all week on this film for Greenwood, I didn't think they were that good of a team. But they took some advantage of some penalties earlier in the game. They took some advantage of Franklin Simpson turnovers, and they were able to run up the score a little bit. But Franklin Simpson has been able to respond. They've been able to show that they are a force to be reckoned with.
And Franklin Simpson, I'll say this, regardless of how the final 6 minutes and 32 seconds of this game go, you referenced the Adair County game. Franklin could have easily laid down and called it a night and said, we're moving on to Hart County. The way they have battled in this second half and rallied and even made it a ball game, this is the most impressive. I said it's the best half we've seen from Brady. This is the most impressive half of football we have seen from Franklin Simpson this season, and it's not particularly close.
No, they have just come out here and just dominated. Oh, my goodness.
But still need to finish the job. Squib kick down the middle. It gets past the man in the back, and Schwarzkopf chase it down, bats it, and he's got a chance for a return. Here he comes across the 20. 25, Wildcats are there, and they knock him down as he pushes just past the 30. Nearly disaster for Greenwood, but if there's one man you want to avert that, It's the star running back Schwarzkopf, who they have relied on here in this second half, but fumbled it to give Franklin Simpson a chance. And now we'll see what Greenwood does in this spot. They have relied on Schwarzkopf. He's run it 9 times in the second half, ran it 15 times in the first half. He's well over 100 yards for this ball game. Greenwood takes over at their own 31, 6:24 left, and we're tied at 24. Wide in the gun, Schwarzkopf to his right with those tight ends stacked up on the left. They hand it to him running left. The Cats blow it up, and they knock it down in the backfield.
Oh, my goodness. 2 guys that hadn't been in there a ton this year. I think Kason Hemshoot was the first one there.
I actually think the very first one there was Jackson Gass. He shot the gap, made the hit, and Kason and Lane were both there to clean that thing up.
And then and Patrick Moss, wearing number 20, was able to get in there and clean it up as well. Oh, my goodness.
It's good after a run play where someone is tackled, where you've got 3 or 4 names that you got to mention as being in on the play. But Franklin has done this. They've had big plays on first down defensively. Can they follow it up? They move Schwarzkopf over to the other side. They run the double handoff. Freeland running outside, gets across the 30 and wrapped up at the 35-yard line. Greenwood will need 6 yards here on third down.
And Freeland didn't look like he didn't run that ball as well as he had earlier in the game. He looks a little bit gassed, but Greenwood is in a situation now where you can be in 4-down territory. I wouldn't throw it if I were them, but
we'll see if they maybe go to that quick out. We've seen that work for them, but Jaggers has not had a catch. They've only completed 1 pass in the second half. They've got 2 wide receivers on the right side. That's where they run that to the wide side of the field. Wide in the gun, 5:07 left, 3rd and 6. They hand it off to Schwarzkopf up the middle, pushes forward and just gets enough. Needed 6, he got 7. They trust those big guys up front in this spot.
Yeah, and just able to move the chains, trying to milk this clock as much as they can, Greenwood is.
And Franklin can't stop it. Only got the 1 timeout.
No,
4:45 left and ticking. They're going to keep going to that formation with the tight ends on the left, Schwarzkopf on the right. Taking his time as the quarterback, Wyatt. 15 seconds on the play clock. Now he snaps it. Schwarzkopf running that way, and again, the Wildcats shoot the gap and make the play. It is Lane Alford coming up from that linebacker spot.
Somebody's hurt.
It's not Schwarzkopf. He was up quickly after the play. There is a player down for Greenwood. Cannot tell. It looks like one of the guys up front.
64.
And that play loses a yard, as down for Greenwood is Parker Lastly, junior offensive tackle.
And that's tough for Greenwood. I mean, I know they got another big guy that they can put in at tackle, but
they got a lot of size with a lot of different guys. But in a spot like this, it's tough to plug somebody in and play them.
Yeah.
4:23 left in the ball game. If you're just joining us to set the scene, we're tied up at 24. Franklin Simpson trailed at 24-3 at halftime, and it was a really deflating end of that first half. The Wildcats go down, get their first points on a field goal. Greenwood had about a minute and a half to work with. They go down, make their first field goal of the year, a 37-yard. I mean, it was a fantastic kick, and the Gators knocked all the momentum that Franklin Simpson might have had right out. And the Cats come out to start the second half with a bang. They get the 69-yard screen play to Lane Alford, who scores his 30th career touchdown at Franklin Simpson. They get the 28-yard touchdown run from Colin Anderson. And after they force a fumble, and I really should say gifted a fumble, the Cats come down, and on a big play near the goal line, Brady Delk, with pressure coming at him from all sides, completes a pass to Colin Anderson in the end zone, and then Colin runs it in for the 2-point conversion as well to tie this game up at 24 apiece. It's been big plays on both sides of the ball, all phases. The run game, the pass game is, they're now helping that big Greenwood lineman Lastly to his feet and not really able to put any weight on the left leg as he's hopping off, assisted by his coaches. 4:23 left. The Gators will come back out on the field for a 2nd and 11. Greenwood has all 3 timeouts. Franklin Simpson with only 1. The Wildcats have done a great job on first down. If every down were first down, it'd be a 3-and-out every time. Let's see what the Cats can do here. Schwarzkopf to the right side of his quarterback Wyatt. They've got 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. They send a man into motion, running left to right. They still give it to Schwarzkopf. He's running left, cuts up the gap. He's past midfield, has a first down to the Franklin Simpson 45-yard line, picks up 15.
Good tackle by Jackson Gass, because if he wasn't able to make that, then it may have been a different story, may have been able to get in the end zone, but Gass was able to bring him down.
4:15 left and ticking. Big Z Eberhardt comes in as coming off a little bit limp for the Wildcats after that play was Jacob Spears, who's really emerged over the last couple of games on defense. Had 4 tackles against Glasgow. Schwarzkopf gets it, cuts up the middle, across the 40, jukes back 35-30. Delt trying to chase him down, has a hand on him. The Cats cannot bring him down until he's inside the 5. It was Groves that was finally able to drag him to the ground. And Schwarzkopf there just dragged 2 Wildcats from the 20-yard line to the 4.
And then now Greenwood is.
They go to that big package.
And they're going to try to milk as much clock off as they can. And
it's the big fullback Freeland in there at quarterback. Takes the snap, but he's stacked up this side on the right side. That's the first time Franklin Simpson has stopped that play. And it goes for nothing. It'll be 2nd and goal. See if they mark this officially at the 4 or the 3. It's really closer to the 5. It's between the 4 and the 5-yard line.
So Greenwood's got a lot of strength out there. I wonder if the Wildcats can counteract with some speed. And they are going to milk.
They are waiting. There's still 20 seconds on the play clock. 3:10 left in the ball game, and they've still got Freeland in that big package. That's the first time we've seen Franklin Simpson defend that well. We did see earlier a snap go over Freeland's head. Inside 3 minutes left now, 5 seconds on the play clock. They snap it. Freeland running right, surges through, and he walks in. Was touched but never really threatened to go down, and Greenwood takes the lead back on a very impressive drive.
Got lead, but you got 2:53 left on the clock. This is a big play here. You want to try to see what you can do on this extra point and get a block or whatever you can do, but this is a big play here.
They come out with an interesting formation. See if they shift this into a PAT. I had the center by himself, and now they line it up for the extra point.
That's the way they always come out in it, but they never actually run the fake.
Smothers made the big field goal earlier. Cats are going to bring everybody. They've almost gotten to him on these PATs. They've got a chance here. Can't quite get to him. It hit the post, but it directs it in. Hit the right post and corralled through. And with 2:53 left, it's 31-24. Greenwood over Franklin Simpson. How do the Wildcats?
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
.253 left in the ball game here at Franklin Simpson High School. We didn't know what we were in for in the second half, but it's turned into a ball game. The Cats now trail it 31-24 after the 4-yard touchdown run from Jackson Freeland, set up by the 40-yard run from Caden Schwarzkopf. Greenwood finally gets on the board in this second half. How does Franklin Simpson respond? Anderson fields the kickoff, surveying his options. Now runs down the right sideline across the 25, and he's stacked up at the 26. That's where Franklin Simpson will take over, trailing it by a touchdown, 31-24.
And with the medal that Franklin Simpson has showed this game, I don't mind where we are right now.
Yeah.
You know, the ability that we have to pass the football is, you know, shown we've been able to throw it. Brady's played an incredible game, probably the best game of his career so far.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I'm not mad about the situation that we're in. He's going to have an opportunity, and we'll see what happens.
Brady 4 for 6 for 156 yards in the second half. Fakes a pass here to start the drive out of the shotgun. Runs it across the 30, 35, 40, down the right sideline. Cuts upfield, gets past midfield, still running down the sideline. 35-30, dragged down at the 25-yard line. There is the quarterback run. He gets 49 on the first play of the drive.
And then now Franklin Simpson's in a situation where they can start thinking about, okay, do we milk this clock? Not yet. Not yet.
I think priority. We saw this at the end of the first half where they got stood up and had to kick the field goal. I think with the goal line struggles, I think no matter what, you're thinking touchdown.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah, because Greenwood would be in a passing situation, and you like your chances as Franklin Simpson on that.
Although they're running a little clock off here. Inside 2.5 minutes left. They now head to the line with 20 seconds left on the play clock. 1st and 10 at the Greenwood 25-yard line. Delk back under center. They've got two backs in the backfield. It's Jones and Alford. They fake it to Lane. Brady looking downfield, floats it up into the end zone. Groves got it!
Redeemed himself.
Touchdown, Wildcats!
Oh, my goodness. What a drive. Just 2 plays, and Franklin Simpson's able to score. Now, are they going for 2, or are they kicking the field extra point?
I mentioned the Union County game where Franklin Simpson decided to go for 2 and the win. In this case, what do the Wildcats do?
I do not see Brody McAllister in the game.
I don't either. I see Brady Delk checking his play sheet.
I see a play being called in.
31-30. Cats trail by 1. 2:09 left. They're going to leave the offense on the field. It's the big formation in there. Delk takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling right, has his man, threw it behind him, and it's dropped by Alford. The Cats tried to go for 2, trailing by 1. Could not convert on the play action. I think I said Union County too many times because that's not the exact same play, but the play action slip out. Brady pressured, just couldn't get enough on it to hit Lane. Thrown behind, and Lane's priority there was to try to make a play after he caught it because he knew he didn't have everybody beat.
Looking for a place to connect, grow, and worship? Discover Franklin First United Methodist Church in downtown Franklin. Join us every Sunday for 2 uplifting services. Experience our traditional service at 9 a.m., where hymns and heartfelt messages bring our community together. Or come to our contemporary worship service at 11 a.m., where you'll find a lively atmosphere filled with modern music and inspiration. No matter where you are on your faith journey, there's a place for you here. Join us this Sunday at Franklin First United Methodist Church. We can't wait to welcome you home.
What makes us special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
It by a point after the failed 2-point conversion. McAllister will try to onside kick it. They've got it loaded up on the left side. Brody puts the hand up, runs forward, kicks it over to the left side, put a lot on it, and it's fielded, and taking the knee is, of course, Schwarzkopf.
And now Greenwood can run the ball once. If they get a first down, then it's not over, but it's pretty close.
31-30, the Gators lead it. They take over at their own 39-yard line with 2:08 left. You know, you go back to the Greenwood game last year, Franklin Simpson tried an onside kick, got it, but the ball didn't hit the ground, so it was pulled back by a flag. Here, you need 3 stops. You can stop the clock 1 time. And you know it's going to Schwarzkopf every play. He's at the right side of his quarterback, Wyatt. Takes the snap, hands it off, running left, surges through across the 45 and almost got the first down on the opening play. Needed to get to the 49. They mark him at the 48.
Yeah, Franklin Simpson is electing not to call a timeout right here, hoping to stop him again and call a timeout on this next play.
You're going to have to try to shoot it like we've seen a few times. Little confusion from Greenwood as they broke the huddle early. Then Coach Howard tells them, no, we got to run some clock off here. Yeah. Schwarzkopf this time on the left side, so you know he's going to be running to his right. Now they shift it over, so they're going to run to that left side behind those tight ends. Schwarzkopf to the right hip of Wyatt. 8 seconds on the play clock, and the Wildcats jump off sides.
And that's probably that's a ball game.
That's a free first down, and Greenwood will be able to run it out from there.
Yep.
It's amazing that we got to call a game that had any excitement or anything that mattered with 1:20 left in it.
Yeah. And I don't even know if Coach Cheney will call a timeout. I mean, Greenwood can take one knee and be done.
Believe Coach Cheney will let this one come to an end. Beyond encouraging to see what it turned into, because it looked like it might be a nightmare for Franklin Simpson, and especially now knowing what we do with Glasgow and Hart County ultimately winning that game 15-7, but Glasgow playing them close. To show that you can hang with these good teams, big for Franklin Simpson, as the Gators will take a knee out of the shotgun formation. And the Wildcats, as Coach Cheney walks out onto the field, will at least use that last timeout to force the Gators to successfully take one more knee.
All right.
It'll go down as a 31-30 final. Brady Delk finishes, once it's all tallied up, he'll have the second most prolific passing game for a quarterback under Coach Cheney. Over 170 yards, not quite the 196 that Luke Richardson had to set the high mark under Coach Cheney back in 2020 in the playoff loss to Allen County Scottsville. But Brady does it all tonight without a single yard passing in the first half, was 0 for 1, and then comes out, has the 69-yard touchdown pass to Lane, the 7-yard touchdown pass to Collin, the 25-yard touchdown pass to Case and Groves, and completions of 27 and 49 to boot wedged in there as well. Had the 49-yard run on that last drive to help set up the touchdown. So many positives to take away from the second half for Franklin Simpson. But trailing 24-3 at the halftime break, it's not enough as Greenwood kneels it out. And the Gators move to 5-3 overall on the season. That's the mark that Franklin Simpson falls to, as the Wildcats now will try to turn it around and gear up for a district matchup against Hart County. They'll have an opportunity on the road to force a three-way tie in the district. As frustrating of a loss as this is, Tyler Arterburn, to come off of this second half into that game that the film will now show was against a vulnerable Hart County team. It's not the ideal result, but certainly not the end of the world.
No, it's not, and you want the RPI, and I don't know what RPI does for close games. And usually you see a jump in a team when they win, but I mean, you still got it. Franklin Simpson still has a chance to win the district with RPI and to get that number 1 seed. I don't know if you win it, you can't win it outright, but there's still hope. There's still a chance, and Franklin Simpson showed that they got some fight in them too. That's the most important thing.
Yep. 31-30, the final score. Franklin Simpson falls to Greenwood as the Gators remain undefeated against the Wildcats in the tenure of Max Cheney. This the first one of those by single digits. Cats gave them everything they could handle and then some in this ball game here tonight. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we get you all the final numbers from this ball game. We'll see if we chat with Coach Cheney as well in the aftermath of this third loss of the year. We're back in 2 minutes as we get our post-game show underway here on 92.3 WFKN.
Looking for a place to connect, grow, and worship? Discover Franklin First United Methodist Church in downtown Franklin. Join us every Sunday for 2 uplifting services. Experience our traditional service at 9 a.m., where hymns and heartfelt messages bring our community together. Or come to our contemporary worship service at 11 a.m., where you'll find a lively atmosphere filled with modern music and inspiration. No matter where you are on your faith journey, there's a place for you here. Join us this Sunday at Franklin First United Methodist Church. We can't wait to welcome you home.
What makes us special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
Halloween is our favorite time of year here at Trent Betting.
Forget a costume. I'm going all out this year for our Monster Halloween sale all month long. This will change me into the scariest monster you've ever seen.
Whoa, little Trent, don't drink that potion.
Gotcha! a little more like it.
You've really done it this time.
That's right. And I'm slashing all our prices.
With select purchases, you can receive a free mattress protector, a free set of sheets, or a free set of pillows. Don't miss our monster Halloween sale at Trent Bedding.
Back with you here at Franklin Simpson High School as we get our post-game show underway. My goodness, what a ball game it was. I don't think any of us expected that to be the first words out of our mouths when we got this post-game show started. It was 24-3 at halftime. Franklin Simpson rallies back to make it a game late, to be in a spot not just to tie it up, a chance potentially to win this ball game. They roll the dice, try to do so, and ultimately fall 31-30 here at home to Greenwood. Tyler Eaton joined by Tyler Arterburn as we watch Coach Cheney get set to make his way up to the press box. Believe, Tyler, that's Big Zeke that's making his way up here as well.
I coached him. He started playing football his 7th grade year. I coached him, and he's one of my favorite players to coach because he just improved so much. And you see that his final product that he's putting on the field as a senior, it's been incredible as he's making his way up here.
Well, and certainly a night where it makes sense to bring one of the big guys with all the fight that they had to put in against that big Greenwood front.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead. I'll let you transition over to get ready to do your faithful duty of the plaque and the picture. You have been so good at it for so long, and by that I mean for a year and a half. You have thrived in that role. We'll see if Coach Cheney gives it over to Zeke first, or if we'll have Coach, usually he likes to hand it over to the player so that he can then show his frustration about not getting his own plaque. Tonight, plenty to be frustrated with after the opportunities given away in that first half. But again, the Cats rally. They make it close, 31-30, the final score. As we'll see if Coach is going to let you want Zeke to go first, or you're going to go first. You're stealing a mint. I guess that means Zeke's going first. Zeke Eberhardt joining us for our post-game show. As Zeke, job number 1, that headset's all yours. He just kind of sat here and stared at me. I mean, I'm good for a staring contest. If you want to have one, it's not my strong suit, but I'm up for it. This was a game that, we said to start the post-game show how good of a game it was and how shocking it was after halftime that we even got to say that about this game. In a way that you can describe to us on the radio, what was the conversation like during that halftime break that whatever it was lit a fire under you guys to start that second half?
I mean, I feel the coaches really love us, man. They came in there, told us we had to light a fire under ourselves, go out there and fight. We're steering the game. It was, a 3-score game.
Yeah.
We came back, lost by 1. It's really a game of inches. And, all love to the coaches. They really know how to speak to the team.
It's a Greenwood team with a lot of size up front, especially when you extend it out to linebacker, a lot of speed as well. What was it like for you guys up front, having to battle against what's probably the biggest team that we've seen up front on both sides this season?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely difficult, but I feel like the O-line really did what they could. The first half came out real slow. The second half, we realized we could do what we can, and I feel like we did a really good job second half. It's just, it all comes down to the one play.
And I know not the results you guys want, but walk me through what the energy was like as that second half goes on and you have big play after big play and you start to feel those momentum swinging, and all of a sudden this turns into a ball game. How exciting was it to be a part of that as the second half transpired?
That's one of the best feelings in football. You're coming back, it's looking like you can have it. Whole sideline's getting up, everyone on the field, talking to each other. It's an amazing feeling.
Bittersweet moment, I know, walking out there for senior night, although when you look at this team, I'd said it to Coach Cheney, I said it during the pregame, probably the shortest possible senior night celebration that we could have with a small group of guys. Because of that, how close have you all, as the few seniors on this team, gotten over the course of the season?
I feel that's some of my best friends. I love those guys on the team. You know, Colin Lane, Harry, CG, and even Tyrell, it's his first year. We have those senior night dinners. It's really just a blessing to have those guys. They're really brothers to me.
Tyler Arterburn said before you got up here that you were one of his favorites to coach. Would you say that everything that you've learned at offensive line came from Coach Arterburn?
Yeah. You know, Coach A, he was my first coach. You know, I love him. It was great to start out with him.
It was great to start out with him, but it seems like he did not, in fact, teach you everything you knew.
I've got a little bit from Coach Cheney, I'd have to say.
We spent a lot of time together.
I'll tell you, yeah.
Well, that's another side of it, too, to be able to work with Coach Cheney, who, that's his thing, the O-line. I know it's challenging at times, but I know it also has to be really rewarding as well to see all of his insight and everything that you get to put towards building your game.
Yeah, it's being with Coach Cheney for the past 4 years, there's those moments, I'm sitting there getting yelled at, but it's all love. I know it. He's really built me into an amazing man. I feel like he's been a huge part of my life. I love him.
Well, we'll pitch it over to Coach. I'll let you take that plaque over and get a picture with your favorite coach who taught you everything. Zeke, appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to give it over to Coach Cheney, who I know always excited anytime. Now, I thought he was trying to steal the plaque for a second. We're getting out of the range of snowball weather, so you got to at least let Zeke have this one. I know you're excited anytime you get the opportunity to bring an offensive lineman up here with you.
Yeah, Colin had a great game. Lane had a great game. Kaysen had a really good game. But Zeke's kind of the leader of the O-line and a good leader in the locker room. On and off the field for our guys and young guys to look up to, and just felt like he played more defense tonight than he normally plays because we had to have him, and so I just felt like it was a good time to be able to bring him in and celebrate kind of what he's meant to our team and what he's been able to do, and he had a good game tonight, and I do wish we would play like that in the first half. So the second half, it was a very spirited halftime speech and talk, and real challenging to some of those young men. And, bottom line is they came back and played hard, fought hard, what I wanted to see out of them. Not
to start the second half quick, and after that third down screen to score the long touchdown to Lane, he kind of looked over with a smirk like he knew what he was talking about or something. You called the timeout before that play. Did you guys just have a sense that something had to happen there?
I love Brady Delp to death, but they called timeout because he couldn't settle down. I mean, he had just made a – didn't he just get intercept? He had just done something, and he couldn't settle down. Nah, it was before. It was on the first play. We were going to run a certain play, and we wanted to tell him to do something, but he was all in his. I mean, he was a wild card.
The second half was after. The second one was after the interception.
Right. So didn't want to burn a timeout there, but it was a great play design, great call by Coach Marsh, and worked on it all week, and it hit exactly how we thought it hit. It was really good. The crappy part for. Lane is, bless his heart, Sam Satterley's injured. He's normally our long snapper, and Lane is a backup long snapper. So you run how many ever yards, and you got to snap the ball. So, I can't say enough about all these seniors, and Lane's included, man. I mean, they're did a really good job tonight. They lead the team mostly in positive reinforcement. I talk to them and let me be the negative, because I love them up afterwards, but I need – a lot of times if you're getting yelled at by your peers, that's a little more harsh. They don't know to love them up afterwards. So, proud of those guys and proud of the fight that they showed in the second half. So, hated that we came up, decision to go for two in my eyes was, if we get in an overtime situation with those big hogs that they had getting downhill on us. I mean, you could see we didn't really stop it other than some turnovers and stuff.
And down around the goal line, they were unstoppable.
What are we going to do there? So, I think the play call was good. It was open, and just not the night to catch the ball. But that's your stud.
Yep.
So you're going to give him a chance. Just like we're down here and we gave Collins our other stud, give him a chance. So I thought Blake came back and played hard, played through some pain, and we had some guys playing through some pain tonight that got some pain. Aiden Jones played through some pain, Jacob Spears. And so I was proud of those guys.
Well, you mentioned Brady. He had the interception. You could argue he could have had one on the other end. He was at least arguing that he should have had an interception. And
I don't know about the one down here. I like that he argued about it, but I don't. My vantage point wasn't great, so I don't know.
Well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe, but
Yeah.
it feels like this is maybe the third time in 4 games that I've said this, but that second half was the best version of Brady that we've seen by far. Finished with the second most yards for a quarterback since you've been the coach, had the 3 touchdown passes as well, had some big gains in the run game as well. And there are times where Brady does Brady things. He's a little too fired up at times, but looked really composed.
And that's a hard transition to be the free safety on defense, and you make a great play, and now you got to be, one day we talked about being Joe Montana. They call him Cool Joe, which he didn't really remember who Joe Montana was, which made me feel really bad. But, I love him to death. But, sometimes he's just got to settle down. I mean, and he can play great. He's a great athlete. He can play great ball. But, and you saw it in the second half. He played great ball. So
turnovers we knew were going to be big, obviously, in the first half. Those don't go your way. Second half, able to create a few, got the interception, was able to knock a ball out, get a fumble as well. But as you look back at this game, I said it to Tyler, it felt so much like that game last year up at Greenwood, which is kind of a stark thing. But this one, the ending, you make it look closer on the scoreboard, 1-point game. And I know moral victories aren't the most real thing, but especially with that Hart County game coming up, it felt like this had to finish better than how it was starting.
You're never happy with a loss, but I am happy that they came back out and fought and didn't have a quitter's eye on me or a loser's limp on me.
It easily could have turned into that Adair County game.
We challenged some kids that kind of were – maybe they were – there's a difference in hurt and injured, and maybe they were hurting, but they weren't injured.
Yep.
So, but glad they came out and played. I mean, and Spears is a young sophomore, plays O-line and D-line for us, and he was hurting.
Yeah.
And he played the whole game. He didn't come out, so kudos to him. And several other guys. Aiden Jones, he's a sophomore. We got a lot of sophomores on the field.
Yes.
So, which, will pay dividends towards the end of the season, you hope, and on into the years to come. But, just proud of those guys for really taking the challenge that we gave them at halftime and taking the coaching and turning some things around. And we got a lot of things to fix, but, it doesn't get any easier next week. Hart County's, they're big, just like this team. They're going to run downhill just like this team did. And we definitely can't wait till the second half to start playing.
That was going to be my whole statement on Hart County, who slipped past Glasgow 15-7, the final score in that game. Still an opportunity there, and it's something we talked about throughout this. 15-7, the final score in that game. It was tied up at 7 late, then Hart County scored to win it. But that's a team. Physicality is the number one thing that stands out. Still a chance with a win to force a tie, put the RPI into the factor. It's hard to know how any of that's going to calculate until all of it's said and done with those numbers and such, but still a lot on the line in that ball game.
Oh, a lot on the line. I mean, it would have, we were looking, if we can beat Hart County, it'd give us probably a 3-way tie for first place, and then you got to look at RPI stuff, and that's why this game was important, to try to get some RPI with a win over a 5A team. And the fact that we played a 5A team is good, because those other teams, Adair and Hart, they're not playing.
Hart finishes with a 1A team.
Yeah, they're not playing 5A teams. They're playing 3-2 and 1A. So, hopefully it'll slide in our favor. Regardless, we're in the playoffs. We just don't know which way we're going to go yet, and we got a big one to decide that next week against Hart County.
All right, Coach. We'll see you up there.
Hey, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
That's Coach Chaney joining us, bringing Big Zeke, our player of the game, presented by Pelican Snowballs of Franklin. As we'll bring Tyler Arterburn, our pro color commentator and photographer, back into the fold to get you the final numbers right after this. We're back in a couple minutes to wrap this thing up right here on 92.3 WFKN.